Yeah. Overseas with it. Niggas claim they hot, where that money at? Niggas then ran up in your spot, where that money at? Strippers don't know you in the spot, where that money at? Fuck you, and that fake watch, where that money at? Yeah. Niggas think they hot, where that money at? Niggas then ran up in your spot, where that money at? Strippers don't know you in the spot, where that money at? Fuck you, and that fake watch, where that money at? Yeah. Slipping on my pippin', nigga, never that. Always had more women than bitches, nigga, Roger that. Money is the root of all evil, get the fuck back. We've been brainwashed from a fetus just to get scratched, scratch that. Now I'm on a mission just to get dope. Physical or crypto, from the 9 to 5 or a kick dough. When shit get cold, like the hometown of Klitschko. Vladimir, your boys out of here with the sick flow. Now I ain't no rushing, but I'm rushing through this budget. Turn the booth into a gun, raise the way I'm busting. Cop the whole onion, then I got it from my cousin. In and out of traffic, toe tagger, we be hustling. Understand the shine first and realize your time worth. Can't be rich until you enrich your mind first. But I'ma be ignorant with my black ass and probably swipe my black card to blind black mask. Yeah. Niggas say they hot, where that money at? Niggas then ran up in your spot, where that money at? Strippers don't know you in the spot, where that money at? Fuck you, and that fake watch, where that money at? Yeah. Niggas say they hot, where that money at? Niggas then ran up in your spot, where that money at? Strippers don't know you in the spot, where that money at? Fuck you, and that fake watch, where that money at? Yeah. That moolah, that cheese, that fettuccine, that guala. It's what a nigga after, so holla at me tomorrow. I'm looking for investors to throw some bread at the startup. Straight to the top, I'm cream of the crop with the product. Money isn't everything, but in this society, you gotta have funds to have fun, so don't lie to me. 153 million the fucking lottery. World keeps spinning, I just mold it like fucking pottery. Fuck that poverty shit, my niggas gotta get rich. Hip hop over everything like hippopotamus clicks. Niggas wanna hate, they be on some anonymous shit. People wanna relate, they wanna be a part of my clique. We are not with the shits, the toilet did not get fixed. All left fail, every door come off the hinge. $1 million in my bank account, the sweetest revenge. 75% in the savings, making some sense. Niggas say they hot, where that money at? Niggas then ran up in your spot, where that money at? Strippers don't know you in the spot, where that money at? Fuck you, and that fake watch, where that money at? Yeah. Niggas claim they hot, where that money at? Niggas then ran up in your spot, where that money at? Strippers don't know you in the spot, where that money at? Fuck you, and that fake watch, where that money at? Yeah. Overseas with it. Niggas.
Black African power was good, was happening, well organized lie. Defeats a disorganized truth every time. Woohoo, man. Look, man. Told you he was gonna replay that, finish that debate off, man. Between me and Asar. It was a good one. Right? This is extension from yesterday's show, man. Let many people get up in here first, man. Black Lion Supreme, I see you. Juju, I see you. Thought I did mute out Juju. What you talking about? It is me, Juju. What the hell are you talking about?
All right. Now, I'll cash you the $100 now.
Time.
Oh.
No. We gotta go step by step.
Let's go step by step.
You probably don't remember.
Yeah, I'm
because I never gave you anything in the car.
Oh, what's going on?
You got in the car with Sarnetta to get some bread, G? What are we watching?
Yeah, I'm asking the same question, trying to find out what the issue is.
So what you saying, Juju? What you talking about, Juju? Somebody got me. That was you, Juju. That wasn't me. Anyway, man, there's always things going on in the world we live in, and it is what it is. But yeah, man, come on, man. Let's get some people up in here, man. Hit the Cash App, coming in the door, coming out. Man, I see everybody. Omar Reed, man. Gemini, I see you. Juju. Pseudo Killer Official, Mr. Metro. All right, don't lie. Nah, we ain't doing no Egypt. We ain't doing Egypt again. Lisa, I see you. You still ain't answer my question, Lisa. Black Panther. Want to answer. Want to hear the answer. Always like to figure out where everybody at. You know me. Community skeptics, man. I'm skeptical. I'm always trying to figure out where everybody at. What stages they've been through and what they believe, what they don't believe, man. I find it to be interesting to me, man. That's just been my journey I've been on, and seeing how things fall apart when religious beliefs come into it. And for real, that's why the United States understood they needed to separate church from state. And most people don't even know science didn't actually get to the point it's at now until humans was able to separate science from their beliefs. Bet y'all didn't know that. It was getting in the way, right? And it took damn near 300,000 years for human beings to be able to make that, to do that. And there's certain conversations that we have that have clear stop signs. And this conversation that me and Asar had was clearly one with the stop signs, and he just ran them all. So, for instance, when understanding nature and how it's supposed to go and how to understand it, you'll hear me say on a regular basis that nature, right? You do not understand nature just like that. It's a constant process, meaning you constantly have to break certain barriers, okay, to be able to get to understanding nature. That's why there's a lot of things about nature we still don't understand, because we haven't we built the tools that'll help us understand it more. Like you had the Hubble telescope, right? We start to understand how the Hubble expansion, how we seeing things expand the way they start to see that. Prior to that, you couldn't see that. All right. So it gave us a better understanding. The James Webb telescope, has even given us a better understanding. Brunson, remember Brunson? Let's go back in time, Louis Brunson. Okay. Brunson discovered, I think, an element or two. Okay. And in the lab, he started to realize that those elements gave off of colors. So no matter where you was in the cosmos, if you've seen that particular spectrum of color, right, then you knew what the element was. And so then we started to understand that the elements was everywhere. There's a time period we didn't even know about elements. So each one of these steps allowed us to build more and more knowledge about the universe and gave us more understanding. You wasn't just in the Stone Age and dove to the element chart. This is what Asar was actually purporting here, that you went from the Stone Age to understanding the element chart. Crazy. And these are the conversations we in all the time. I see you, Miss Tiff. What's good? What it do? Pseudo Killer Official. Good to see you. So I always ask myself, I ask people, you an atheist? What spectrum are you on? I feel this to be important. All right. And the reason I ask these questions is because you're thinking, for instance, an atheist, right, don't have no baggage with the Holy Ghost. So to an atheist, the Holy Ghost, just ghosts, spirits, and souls, they're all part of religious thinking. Easy work. A religious person puts quality on the Holy Ghost. Put the word in front of ghost, Holy Ghost, then you got a Christian creaming. Take off the holy aspect of it, then you be like, I believe in God. I don't believe in the ghost. But put back that word, the Holy Ghost or Holy Spirit, and they right there with it. It's the same thing. Religious thinking. Whether the ghost is holy with a spirit or is Holy Spirit or Holy Ghost, right? It's just language, and it's the same thing. Soul, man has a soul. Same thing, religious thinking. And the religious people can't see it. Why? Because they place value on that. So if you place in value on something, right, like Holy Ghost or ghosts, right, you can get tricked. So now watch this. You got people who get out, leave religion, but yet put value on ghosts. I heard the ghost from the grave. I heard my mother speak to me from the grave. You're right back into religious thinking. Same thing. I just find that to be very, very interesting. I mean, very interesting. So you'll watch the transition from by the conscious community when they start to talk about, we're not religious no more, but you believe in the great cosmic forces. What the hell is the great cosmic forces? Well, we can define it very simply. You can say it's Allah. You can say it's Jesus Christ. You can say it's any God you want to, could be considered a cosmic force. No, I'm talking about the universe. And they'll change God or Allah or Kulu Kulu, right? Or Yahweh Elohim, okay, to the great universe. So then they'll start looking at the universe as a God. It's the same thing. You just shifted the different terminology, but the same religious thinking behind it. Interesting, ain't it? Words. The believing brain. Man, make sure y'all like and subscribe, man. Did y'all check out the show on the pseudo killers today? Man, go check that out, man. Put that in your catalog of things to watch. But I often wonder, they say 1/3 of the scientists are religious, right? But when you get down to it, right, the scientists that are religious ain't believing what the everyday person walking around is believing. They're not believing in Jesus Christ walking on water or the miracles and stuff. And then you ask them, well, why is it that you believe? And they don't really know, but it's probably part of their upbringing that they just can't get away from. Interesting, ain't it? So the more scientifically literate you are, the more you can place value on different things. So that's why the conscious community is so frizzled and frazzled, because they're arguing out the side of their neck. They're actually beating up people for religious thinking, but yet they got the most unorganized religious thinking. I never could understand it. I never could understand things like that. You say you're not a Christian, Muslim, or Jew, right? But yet you're in a position where now you just believe in African gods, and then you try to act like the African gods, right, aren't gods. And they actually are. And you just place different meanings on it. I sat back and watched that for years. Asar Hotep say this all the time. You can't be an atheist in an African context. Well, why not? Because God to the African is everything. God is existence itself. It sounds slick. But it's just another attribute placed on your religious beliefs. Now, I don't exactly knock people for real, whether you believe in a God or not and all that. I don't. But I know for me, I wasn't actually able to come into my own until I could actually match up, you know what I'm saying, what I was feeling on the inside and what I knew on the outside. You know what I'm saying? So it never made sense to me. But I didn't have the words and I didn't have the understanding of why that don't make no sense. And so I'm trying to get the people to pay attention to me to understand that a lot of times things just don't make sense to you, man, and you ignore it, right? Because the way you was raised, okay? Maybe the literature you've read, maybe the church you belong to, whatever, and you saying, I'm sitting here looking at the Jesus on the wall, Because now they got the black Jesus on the wall. Our grandmother and them wasn't privy to that. They was way out there if they had a black Jesus. Now you got the black Jesus. And some of you looking at the black Jesus saying, why should it matter if Jesus was black or white if Jesus is what Jesus is supposed to be? See? Why should it even matter? See? Even the conversation that we have based off of, say, what's a good conversation we have all the time and we get mixed up? The color of your skin. Gotta ask yourself, right? Why is the color of your skin? Why does that matter so much? Is that religious thinking? Yep. See, the conscious community got it on us, right? We put religion in everything. You can see it, right? Religious thinking, the superpower is based off of the melanin. You leave Christianity and Judaism, and you dove to melanin, and the superpowers in the melanin. No more different than the superpowers in Jesus Christ. But at least the superpowers in melanin gave everybody a chance at actual superpowers. Religious thinking. Back to why should it matter if Jesus was black or white if only thing you was concerned with was that Jesus would actually save the world? What I'm trying to say to you is that you're actually questioning it. That question is in your mind. And some kind of way inside you feel like that don't even make no sense. And then when you try to make it make sense, it still don't make no sense because you're at that place. And so I'm hoping I can be the one just to push you over. See, because I think you do your most learning when you can actually look at a religious book, right? And read different religious literature around the world and get a understanding of culture. Because in religion, humans form religion, right? Is based off of cultural practices, and you gain a great deal of understanding about a people by studying their gods. Right? You can figure out how violent they are, right? You can figure out their soft spots, right? Because at the end of the day, religious literature around the world is simply I will say a delve into the mind or a look into the mind of the humans that actually voted. Because if you ask yourself and be honest, human beings wrote all religious texts around the world. And then human beings say that they was divinely inspired by some type of deity, some type of force, and some type of universe. That's how it go. And at the end of the day, the real God in the situation would have to be the humans. Because each individual human, not unless there's something mentally wrong with you, you know everything you did. You know everything you did and everything you didn't do. And it's only one person you can't lie to. And that would be yourself. So why trick yourself? Always give the example of being in NA and AA and sitting in these meetings and everybody like to tell a story. If you ever been in NA or AA, it's a great place to get all the shit out you, right? You know, a lot of times we carry trauma and stuff around with us, right? We carry secrets, right? And these secrets express itself in different ways, right? And so in those NA meetings and AA meetings, if you know what NA is, that's Narcotics Anonymous. Those who mess with narcotics, and AA, right, would be those who, drink alcohol. Alcohol is a drug. What? Yeah, alcohol is actually a drug, right? But in these meetings, man, you get to talk to people who've been through the same experiences as you, and there's a value to that, right? And that value is that you're not as ashamed when you see that other people's going through the same thing you're going through, right? And you'll find that talking about things, you know what I'm saying, that has been suppressed, right, actually helps you out. You can get it out. That's why people go to psychologists, right? They go to a group, right? to talk about a lot of stuff. That's why I can be so brutally honest with y'all. Right? Because, you know what I'm saying? I've been in there. I learned how to do the work on myself, meaning I can understand who I am and what I'm doing based off of having to tell the truth. Now, y'all might not have the experience of dealing with one of the wildest things you can put yourself in, and that's actually being strung out on drugs, because most people that get addicted is not going to get out of that, right? And to get out of that and to come through that, right, it makes you a unique individual, because being where I was on that situation it's life and death every day. Now, bad enough you can die anyway, but being strung out, you life and death. Yeah, that, and most people that I know hasn't came back. There's a few select individuals that I grew up with that made it. You know what I'm saying? That it was actually able to change that, right? And just not mess with nothing at all. All right. But you learn a lot about yourself, right? I don't suggest you put yourself in a situation. It was 2 situations that I learned the most about myself, for real. And that was in the Marine Corps, and that was being strung out on drugs. And to be honest with you, I think being in the Marine Corps actually helped me get off of drugs, right? Because it take you in a mental space. I remember being in boot camp and you'd be standing for hours, right? You go into the mess hall, that's where you eat your food at, right? You had to stand and you couldn't move, right? And your legs and shit be hurting and all that be hurting. And you have to mentally remove yourself from that situation. How many of y'all can actually do that? Remove yourself. Your body is here, but your mind got to be somewhere else. And you still got to pay attention. Okay? Dealing with the fight. You know what I'm saying? Your mind is powerful, man, right? But if you don't matter, your mind gonna follow, right? So I learned how to work with my mind and ignore pain. You had to ignore pain in the Marine Corps, right? You it's called discipline. Discipline is the ability to ignore pain. You know what I'm saying? They talk about it on the pseudo killer shows. They talk about the body budget. The brain wants to budget the amount of energy you use. So being lazy is the order of the day. Right? So mentally, you got to fight that. You got to fight what the brain really wants to do. It wants you to conserve energy. All right. And so what I'm saying is, in the Marine Corps, I learned about how to fight the pain situations, right? Being outside, being at guard duty, standing for 4 or 5 hours at a time, being focused. Man, that shit hurt. When you go to sleep, you're not really asleep. Right? You know what I'm saying? When you go to bed, you're not really asleep. When you're out in the field, you can't really be asleep, but you sleep. So having a drug addiction, it took all mental capacities, focus to get off the shit. Most people ain't pushed themselves, ain't been in those limits, right? That's why I always say, man, shit get different. So I'm saying all this to say, man, right? That the mind, the mental capacity, the way you think, the way you see it. And they're having that conversation about they talk about god damn it, self-determinant. No, what the fuck is the word? What the hell is, I can't believe I'm messing up. What the conversation on the pseudo killers is basically that determinism or something. Is that what it is? That we basically don't make our own decisions. I know I'm messing this up, man. That we don't have no control over that, right? That's part of the evolutionary process. At least that's how I understand it, right? That you really aren't making your own decisions. That's a main conversation right there. Are we in control of our own decisions? Are we in control of our own lives? I know they're going to have a debate over there. I know that's definitely going down. In the conversation, I got a good podcast, right, that I'm studying before I actually wade into it. Look, let me see if I can find it for you real quick. Let me get this to you. Hold on 1 second. Right here. So let me get this straight. It's called hold on. Something You Should Know. It's a great podcast, right? Type in the one dealing with free will. Like, do we have free will or not? All right. And for me to understand the free will conversation, and I'm gonna get back to the work that all of us need to do. You know what I'm saying? And so why would you need to do work if you don't got no free will? Interesting, right? Okay. Now, how I deal with that conversation is that I think that it's a possibility, based off me understanding evolution, that the free will part is not actually important. I think for me to understand that conversation is that the illusion of free will is important. I think that solves a great problem in humans. Humans always want to have control. Guess what I learned that at? In them rooms, NA and AA, where the more you fought to get off of drugs, the more you stayed on drugs. When you recognize that the shit has some type of wild ass power over you, yo, is when you could let it go. You know what I'm saying? With you know what I'm saying, trying to fight it. That wasn't actually the answer. You know what I mean? Because the shit had some control, some wild ass control over you. You know what I'm saying? And every time you try to double down on stopping, yo, you just end up doing it. You be like, damn, I ain't gonna smoke cigarettes today. Cause that was a hell of an addiction for me, smoking the fucking cigarettes. I don't know about y'all. That was real. That was definitely top on the list. The smoking of cigarettes and the smoking of weed. Hold on. You got the smoking of the cigarettes, the smoking of the weed, right? Then you had the cocaine. Any way you want to put it together. Just want y'all know that it's actually a social construct when you look at a person that smokes Ready Rock. From Baltimore, we call it Ready Rock, right? A little bit different from crack, right? Maybe it's the same, I don't know, but but they put the social stigma on it, right? When it was just the same as people that sniffed cocaine. I bet y'all didn't know that. And they actually put a higher sentence on the shit, which was even wilder, which lets us know we need to get our ass into politics, and people should never do that to us. And then you realize it was our own community that helped pass those daggone damn drug bills. You know what I'm saying? Did they pass that? The president of the United States right now was actually part of that. He wrote the crime bill up himself, but it was our community that pushed for that to try to get the shit out of our community. Wild as shit. So yes, Ready Rock or crack cocaine, right, has a cultural stigma on it, whereas though sniffing cocaine does not, which you find in the majority of the rich neighborhoods and white communities, when it actually has the same shit. Just like ghosts and Holy Ghost, same shit. Anyway, so the work you do, right, make you realize that you gotta let shit go some kind of way. And the work allows you to let the trauma and shit go where you can function, right? Or it's gonna keep coming up and express itself in all types of ways. I said all that to say that. Anyway, so I often say, man, you can reach these type of conclusions if you have the ability to put the responsibility on yourself, though. And so for me, being in the rehabs and being in all that shit, it kind of took the responsibility away from me. Although the work that we was doing in there helped me see myself, right? But the constant over and over again talking about the shit, the over and over again saying this shit, man, I'm this, that, and the other. The constant, you got to call your sponsor. Y'all know what a sponsor is, right? So we all got friends that when something is going bad, yo, we'll call them up, yo, and just really get that shit off our chest, right? That's cool, right? But at the end of the day, you're going to be the one to fix the shit. That's what I try to teach my kids. At the end of the day, you're going to be the one to fix the person. What if your friend don't pick up the phone? So suppose I'm feeling like I want to get high, right? If I gotta call a person and say, yo, I'm not feeling too good today. Yo, I'm going through something, man. This is happening. Yo, I just feel like, yo, I just want to get high and kill the pain for the day, right? Say that, right? And then the one time I'm calling, you ain't picking up, then what do I do? See, I never could trick myself out of that. I was always saying, man, because that's what they teach you in the rooms. And they teach you to call your sponsor. You don't sponsor yourself. And when they say that, right, I should say, well, wouldn't I be the best sponsor? Look, man, if you're in NA right now, AA, don't listen to me. Because I always felt that I was my best sponsor. I sponsored myself in getting high. I sponsored myself in behavior that I shouldn't have participated in criminal behavior. I was always at the source of that, and I always understood that. You know what I'm saying? And being in them rooms woke that part up in me again and say, yo, at the end of the day, it's going to be me. Right. So I know I started us off with being honest, and that's what drugs really do to you. Right. That's what being in the Marine Corps really do to you. It make you be fucking honest. And if you fucking honest, at the end of the day, you the source of all your victories and all your goddamn losses. That you are the center of the goddamn universe. I said all that shit to put you right there. That we got to be more responsible. Take the weight and deal with it. Sounds easy, right? Take the weight. All right. And so I'm going to finish this damn debate off of, right, with people who don't understand that. They don't understand to take the weight, right? Understand what you're supposed to understand. Take the time before you be responsible before you say shit out your mouth. That's where I'm at now with this damn community. We got a bunch of people who are not really being responsible and they playing with y'all. When you're in this position to get 10 people to look at your damn ass, you should at least be responsible with the things you say out your mouth. That's how I feel. And for some wild reason, I'm thinking being too religious, don't allow you to be responsible because you always rely on something outside yourself. And that's the real point I want to make here. That's why I don't understand the extra importance being placed on religion and God. Because it takes responsibility away from the man and the woman. And I swear to me, for some odd reason, I'm thinking people wrote that shit in ancient times to relieve the pressure, to take them away from their responsibility. It probably has something to do with them not understanding nature, right? And just don't understand nature, so make up some shit. Well, it didn't rain and the crops didn't grow. But in actuality, you're responsible for finding water no matter what. And at the end of the day, we are responsible for being successful and making sure our bills and stuff is paid no matter what. At the end of the day, we're responsible for being accountable for each other's behavior, your own behavior. Hold people accountable, man, right? You on YouTube to learn something, man. And if you're serious about it, hold niggas accountable. You know why I say that? Because niggas been holding my feet to the fire from day one, yo. I want everybody to feel what I feel. You know how they say. You know what I mean? Like I can't say nothing without the extraordinary critique. Just listen. Just listen. Listen. Pay attention. Yeah. Lord knows that's the atheist right there. He don't believe in God. How? Wait a minute. This community, right? Y'all don't believe in. Y'all believe in God? So yeah. Appreciate everybody to tune in, man, and get this, man. And to be honest with you, man, this is a hard road, man. A lot of y'all can't even talk to your families about your lack of belief or whatever spectrum you're on with your atheism. Right? If you're listening to me, you definitely questioning some shit. Or you even I got haters to listen. Because despite how much they hate me, they still able to learn something. So we got Asar in this motherfucker, flim flamming all the way. hard body flim flamming. Trying to convince you that, and he beat all the way around the bush to do it. So let me pick up where we left off at yesterday. It's the great Asar Hotep. talks that talk. Here we go.
From speculation about divinities, it has derived human applications and supervised the acquisition of all other knowledge generated therefrom. And so, understanding when we're talking about the divinities, these are just aspects of nature, personified concretizations of fundamental aspects of nature. And so, through the study of the divinities, the deities, the netures, as it would be written in the Egyptian language, we have discovered and derived human applications and supervised the acquisition of all other knowledge generated therefrom. And so we got to understand that the Africans were doing science. So this is what I mean by the pedagogy, understanding African pedagogy and what they are teaching and the way that they teach, so that you don't get caught up looking at myths and stuff and thinking that the children's stories is the end of the story. And so another thing that I want to point out is that because of colonialism, a lot of these institutions, these educational institutions that a lot of these African groups had to go underground. And I'm just going to give one citation here. I have others across the continent. And so this is from Foucault's African Cosmology of the Bantu Congo. He says, to illustrate to these candidates that the teachings were highly powerful, secret, and sacred, all candidates were painted with the Tukula red color, the symbol of both danger and death, maturity and leadership. The symbolic painting of candidates in red was fundamental to convey the essence of the teaching of all. This prevented these teachings from being violated by those who offer the first environment, the inner environment, to any living being to be born. Here we are talking about what I call the reverse V, as it was discussed, because of their my bad, that's a misspelling. It's supposed to be closed door policy. To the non-initiated, colonial powers decreed these institutions as dangerous to the survival of colonization. Consequently, these institutions were destroyed without taking into consideration their social, cultural, educational, spiritual, or moral values. Many of their unyielding leader masters, the Ngudia and Nganga, were executed or jailed for life. The remaining masters took these institutions underground for hundreds of years for fear of reprisal from both the colonial and religious powers. So he's saying here that, what was once an open institute that, prepared people for life, in which a lot of these stories and things were passed on, had to go underground as a result of colonialism. Because, just like when they took away the drums here in the United States, this is a way of communicating with one another. And this is something that they did not like. And I can speak on this personally, just being initiated in a college fraternity. And so, the sororities and fraternities, used to have open initiations.
He actually setting y'all up. Yeah, man, it was illegal to practice your own religion because they was force feeding you into their culture. Absolutely. But what the hell I got to do with the Egyptians understanding the damn Big Bang? He's setting y'all up. Y'all don't even know it. It's called Truth and Falsehood Strangely Mixed, y'all. All right. So the conversation is about the goddamn Big Bang. Did the Egyptians understand the damn Big Bang? Not whether colonialization stopped you from practicing your spiritual. Man, come on, man. He's doing that on purpose. I'm trying to tell you, they slick with it. Trying to get you to a point. He's basically trying to say that we had some deep underlying knowledge that made us understand the Big Bang prior to. See, that's the game he was playing with y'all. And only the sharp ones could actually pick that up. But let's keep going.
for the most part. A lot of stuff wasn't public, but you can do it publicly. They can do all kinds of things publicly, but because of certain injuries during the process and things of that nature, and a lot of lawsuits, they banned quote unquote pledging. But it didn't stop pledging. Pledging just went underground. And so you still have folks pledging, being initiated in a traditional way, just not on the surface. And this is exactly what happened in Africa when it came to these educational institutes, in which a lot of this information was passed on. And so this is, Fukiao was initiated in 5 of these institutes throughout his lifetime. And so we go to Indaba My Children by Credo Mutwa. Now, a lot of his stuff, we can just argue is pseudo, but that's beside the point. He is an initiate in the Zulu tradition. And this book.
Nah. Yeah. We had to bring that out. That shit was pseudo by Fukiao. Right? Had to bring that out. Now all of a sudden you can argue. No, he's right. Yeah. See? So I guess what we do does make sense.
Look, besides, it just tells you a lot of the myths. So it's titled, rightly so, Indaba My Children, African Folktales. And these are folktales from all across Central and Southern Africa. He was initiated into a number of systems across Africa, and he put all those stories that he learned and memorized and or wrote down into this text here called Indaba My Children. And so in this particular text, I won't read everything here, but he talks about the concept of God, right? And in the concept of God is going to be similar to what we saw with the Dogon here. He said, it is said that the Bantu have no conception of a universal single God. That is, in their religion, they worship the spirits of their long dead ancestors. They are superstitious and fetish ridden and tremble when the thunder growls. The world has been shown images carved by the Bantu. And this would appear to be the sum total of the knowledge foreigners have gained about our religion. The Bantu believe in the existence of God, but their concept of God is different from that of other races. While we believe in the heaven, or our concept of heaven is totally different from that held by other races. The Bantu version of hell is an evil land, but in this land we see no devil with tail, horns, and a forked tongue tormenting the souls of the wicked in eternal hellfire. So he starts off saying that our conceptualization of God is different. And so I'll just skip down to what I have underlined here. He says, the most ultimate God, who is the God of the gods, is everything in everything. Each tree, each blade of grass, each stone that you see out there, and each one of the things that live, be they men or beasts, are all parts of God, just as each one of the hairs on your head and each flea in your hair and each drop of your blood is part of you. The sun is part of God. The moon is part of God. And each one of the stars is but an infinitesimal part of him who is and yet is not, him who was and yet was not, and him who will be and yet shall never be, because there never was a time when God was not, and there never is a time when God will never be. So essentially saying exactly what we saw in the Dagara and in the Dogon tradition, that God is existence itself. It is the universe, and everything is a part of it. And he reinforces this notion. He says, my child, keep in mind that he's being initiated. He's telling the story of the elders initiating him into becoming Sangoma. My child, the eldest talking to Mutwa, God is more in you and is more part of you than you are in and part of yourself. Let me move this. He exists in you more than you exist in yourself. You were not created by God, as the aliens tell you, but you exist as part of God. Your soul is immortal because God is immortal. And your soul and mine are as much a part of God as the grain sandstone is part of the boulder that is part of the mountain. Reinforces this notion that there is no God out there. God is simply existence itself, and we are part of it. This is going to sound just like a lot of what Dr. What's his name? Neil deGrasse Tyson is always reinforcing that, you know, we are of the stars and part of the universe, and universe is in us, yada, yada, yada. We'll get some more of that.
Yo, you funny as hell. Yo, you sound just like him, yo. You lost your damn mind, yo. Hell no. Go ahead, man. My fault.
All righty. So I'm skipping a few, and you know, I'm just going to show this image here. This is just supposed to be a symbolic image of God, but not that this is God. It's just it's just a symbol to talk about, you know, if you God, you know, looking forward, you know, forever, and God looking backwards forever, and you know, traveling upon, you know, forward on the river of time, which they symbolize with a crocodile here, and then that he is hermaphrodite. This is why you see like the males here, but the female mother part here is, we can see in the carvings with the breasts. All of these are just symbolic concepts, you know, to talk about essentially the duality of the universe itself. But the elder says something that's very important, and this last slide is going to be important to our conversation. And the elder is telling him, all these carved concepts, let me move this out of the way, all these carved concepts of the form of God are only a means of satisfying the common rabble, which cannot be made to worship any God unless that God has a shape that they can more or less understand and hold in the mind. So for those people who can't think abstractly, for those who have, you know, childish minds, etc., we create these symbols, these myths, all of that to be able to teach them, because they can't think deeply and abstractly. He says they are also intended to discourage young people from asking too many questions, and you, O chosen one, must only bear this in the valleys of your mind, that God is there and the lesser gods are there, but no one can ever know what forms there are. A God must never be interpreted as having a fixed shape. God can assume any shape he desires and whatever form would suit. Yada, yada. I'm going to skip to this last paragraph here. He says, my instructor proceeded to explain that while these masks and carvings serve their purpose to instruct children and the common people, I, as a chosen one who's being initiated into the priesthood of Sangoma, must know more about our actual concept of God, meaning the universe and the deeper aspects of the universe. I cannot repeat his actual words, as it would occupy far too much space, and he explained everything in a symbolism which many of my readers would fail to comprehend. Briefly, he compared the universe with a gigantic anthill. The structure as a whole is God, and us and everything we see about us is merely the ants and the sand grains inside the anthill. So when you start understanding African pedagogy, you get to start to see, you know, how the Africans use concrete symbols to teach abstract realities. And sorry, let me move this back up here. And so I want to introduce the theoretical physicist, Dr. Sylvester James Gates, who, and I have the actual scientific article, but this is the popular article in a physics world called Symbols of Power, Adinkras and the Nature of Reality. He wrote the first PhD dissertation on supersymmetry, and he is a very powerful, you know, astrophysicist and theoretical physicist. And so there's a lecture that is called the E.E. Just Symposium Keynote Address, Sissy, and this has to do with supersymmetry and the Lords of the Ring. That's the title of the YouTube video if y'all want to go review it. And so there's a point in the video where this is towards the end during the question and answer. And Dr. Gates replies to a question this here, which I typed out here. He says, this is what we call vertex normalization in quantum theory. And what it basically says is that the charge that an electron couples to a photon with actually depends on things such as the speed and the spin. The location much more complicated than the equation we taught our students in high school. You see, we constantly lie when we teach science, but we lie in the service of truth. We tell people the part of the truth that is appropriate for what they have as a background. It would make no sense for me to talk to a high school classroom and try to teach my students relativistic quantum field theory. So I say instead, Coulomb's law is the end of the story, even though I know that that is not the complete accurate story, but it's good enough for that audience. So when you talk to a scientist, you need to be very careful if you're not a scientist, because you need to know what the scientist is assuming about what you know, because that influences what we tell you. And so you can see that even in modern times, that when the science community is trying to communicate with non-scientists, they have to use language and not tell you the whole truth, and create something that you can understand at your level. And so the Africans were doing the exact same thing. And so when you're reading works like Foucault's African Cosmology of the Bantu Congo, understand that this is an initiate, a scientist in the traditional way of African teachings, of knowledge, and things of this nature. And so what he does in his text is he tries to break down as much as possible, as best as possible, the inner teachings of Bantu cosmology. A lot of this stuff has been recorded since the 1400s, but rarely did you have insight of an actual initiate to be able to explain the concepts of the African cosmology. Or excuse me, the in this particular instance, the Bantu Congo cosmology of the Bakongo people. And so this is a very important text because he deals with a lot of things at many different levels. And so we won't have time, of course, to go through everything. But I want to bring out this right now because he's going to talk about in this text this concept of Mbungi. And I can show you later that this word Mbungi is cognate with the word nu, or the noon, which you see here. This is the personification of the nu, and this is just the way that is written in hieroglyphs, right? So I'll wait to come back to that. And so let me go back. So on starting on page 17, going all the way to 22, he starts talking about according to the Bantu Congo teachings, how the universe came to be. And so he says a straight line, a skyline in Longa, Lunkongolo, or a line with an empty circle in Bungi, what I just showed earlier. In its middle is among the Bantu Congo the symbol of emptiness, a world without visible life. That is the emptiness in Mbongi, Mwasi, Mpamba. The world in its beginning was empty. It was an Mbongi, an empty thing, a cavity without visible life. And so these are the graphic representations of this particular concept. But he goes further. He says there are in the empty Mbongi active forces that can blow up, which they call Muimbungi Yampa Mba, Wina Goto Zilindu, Kuhuka, Kadi Zino Moyo, Moyo meaning life. Where there is emptiness and nothingness, act other unknown forces, invisible, of course. Man's life is surrounded by diverse forces and waves which govern it like in an Mbungi. And so this is the second part. So now out of the Mbungi is going to emerge this fire force that they call Kalunga. He says a fire force completely by itself. Kalunga emerged within the Mbungi, the emptiness, the nothingness, and became a source of life. Moyo Wayo Mu Inza. Inza meaning land, world, etc. On earth. That is the Kalunga. And what's interesting is that this word Lunga, there's many different Lunga. There's homonyms in Kikongo language. And when Kalunga is represented by a fire force, this root here, Lunga, is cognate with the word Ra in ancient Egyptian. That's another lesson for another time. But then there's also this word Lunga here, which is also cognate with Ma'at. And so when it talks about that is the Kalunga, the complete force by itself, fired up the Mbongi and overran it, dominated it. The heated force of Kalunga blew up and down as huge storm of projectiles, which they call Kiambwa Ninde. And it's interesting that Kiambwa Ninde is Fukiao's name. That's his initiated name. So, you say Kiambwa Ninde Bonseki or Kia Bonseki Fukiao. So Bonseki is his father's name, Fukiao is his last name. And they're still firing firecrackers out here. So if y'all hear that, I do apologize. It's not gunshots. Well, it could be because I'm over here on the Air Force base. But that's neither here nor there. All right. And so Kalunga then became the symbol for force, vitality, and more, a process and principle of change, all changes on the earth. And by cooling, the mass and fusion solidified itself and gave birth to the earth in the process of cooling, yada, yada, yada. And so you see the graphic representation of this. And so I'll just pause that there so people can read it later. What I want to do is to show this here. And so this is what we call lattice, quantum chromodynamics. And so when one of the things in science, which they recently discovered, is that when you extract everything and it's a complete vacuum, that the emptiness is not empty. And this is a computer simulation, of the mathematics, which helped to demonstrate this. And later, the Hadron, the Large Hadron Collider has confirmed this with experiments and things of this nature. And so there's all these fluctuations of, coming from the fields and protons coming in and out of existence out of this empty field, but it's supposed to be a vacuum. It's supposed to be empty. But just like what Fukiao showed here, and this stuff was written in the 70s and republished in 2001. Let me see. He said, there are in the empty Mbongi active forces that can blow up. And so all of your life emerges from these fundamental fields and these fluctuations which give birth to the protons and up quarks and down quarks, et cetera, that we see in nature. This is in modern, astrophysics. This is discussion to this day. As a matter of fact, Krauss has a good book that discusses this called The Universe from Nothing, right? And shows that there is no nothing, that there's even in the nothing, there's something. And this is a representation of this. And so the Africans was already talking about this. And so what's interesting is that, again, this is why I show that in the, you'll have to review this and verify this on your own. So when people review this, they can just pause the screen and go over this. And so I want to pay attention to this third column here. This is from the Bassa Bantu people in Cameroon. And so when they talk about the universe, they talk about Mbak or Mbag, right? And there's this phrase, Toli Mbag, Limbag. And notice that the Mbongi, here's the empty circle. People say the Nunu is the celestial waters, but it also, the Newt can also mean oval. And it, you know, it also for a pot or a bowl. And then the word is also for sky, heavens, or whatnot. And so it's from the Nun, the Nunu, it's the new reduplicated, that emerged the so-called deities and things. And the fire force, usually with the exception of the story of Ptah. Usually with Ptah, it's the ground, and then the sun god comes from the ground, which is Ptah in the form of Tajani. But in all the other stories, what first emerges are the sun deities, Amun Ra, Amun, Ra itself, you know, whatever. And so in the Bassa language and in Bassa cosmology, they say to liambag, even the smallest universe are empty set. And we go further here. It says, so, you know, to liambag, even the smallest universe are empty set in the mathematical sense, the almost empty. Inso Mbag, the universe, new, or the universe down to its barest essential dimension, the infinite set, the universe within the universe, insignificant and indeterminate. And so we talk about this, you know, this is what they call, what we would call in comparison, equivalent to the quantum fields. And so it's the universe within the universe, the infinitely small, from which all things emerge. And so these aren't astrophysicists that went to Yale or anything to that nature. These are people in the bush who conceived of the universe in this very same fashion. And so you know, I'm currently writing a text called Quantum Field Theory, Quantum Field Theory as African Inheritance. And I've been working on this and studying for 10 years for this book. And I think I just went over all of that stuff. And it's interesting that even when you go into a
Asar said the people in the bush conceived the universe like modern physics. Man. How? Let me get back to this. First of all, he's going over his time. He won't stop. He's supposed to have 25 minutes apiece. Half an hour at most. He just kept going.
Ancient Egypt. And so this is one of the Ramesses tombs. And you can see this creation narrative that is shown here. And we're going to pay attention to this register right here. And so when we zoom in close, this is Atum, another sun god. And this is the Nu. So when you go back to the original drawing, you see it here. And they're giving you an act of creation here. And this is supposed to be the Nun under here. And out of the Nun emerges Atum. And then Atum gives birth to the stars, the sun, and other particles, and just creation itself, which you can see symbolized here. And you can say it's a fire force because here's a glyph of the, it's a brazier, or, you know, a, you know, what they would use to like kind of light, well, anything, kind of cook or to do metallurgy or whatnot. This symbol here is used. And so when we talk about Atum Ra, this is the symbol here. He is a sun god who emerges out of the Nun. And this is the symbol, this is Nun here, right? And you can see this V, just like in the Bantu Congo, the Bantu V, which we can see in the actual raw hieroglyphs right here. The same kind of conceptualization. This whole thing is a creation narrative. This is in a tomb. And so, you know, it's all symbolism, you know, here, but this is the way that our African ancestors, they're giving their hypothesis of how the universe emerges. A fire force emerges out of the Nun, out of the Mbongi, out of the emptiness, out of the quantum field. And it's interesting because you see the same kind of imagery thousands of years later amongst the scientists. So we're talking about the Big Bang and all of that. And so, you know,
thousands of years later, yo, you get the imagery. Stop it. Yo, over that motherfucker playing. Yo, over there playing with y'all, yo. Yo done added about 30 African nations from the bush to Egypt. He didn't condense time and space with different Africans, and they all understood it. Then this is what I gotta put up with, yo. But this is what I got to put up with. Who amongst you believe that the great Asar Humatepi has put together a collection of Africans thousands of years prior to us understanding? Come on, yo. Like, it ain't even worth it, dog. He techno babble. He having fun right now, yo. You got to be deeply in love with Africa past all reasoning, yo, to even believe that nigga say people from the bush. They ain't got one telescope. How did they get that information? How did they do it? See, this is a misunderstanding of science. This is the pseudo-scientific lecture he giving, debate. Yeah. All this to explain how the Africans understood the Big Bang. Bananas. You see the Christians do it, right? They got Christians that the Bible is scientific. They all do it. The hell with the beauty and just ancient people trying to explain nature as best they knew it. That's not good enough. Nah, they got to be scientific and it's matching up with some shit that took 300,000 years to come up with. Crazy. Anyway, let's get back to it. Ronald Borkins, how you doing, brother? Now we getting right back to it. Bad enough he's going. I had to damn near fight him to get him off the mic. Watch this. Keep going. But I appreciate the brother. He's actually taking us. He's using NASA websites. Cosmic tug of war. The force. Let's see. Go ahead, Asar. Do your thing.
Of course, it's not fire, but that's the word that they use to talk about this immense heat, immense creative energy that emerges out of the Mbongi, right? And I don't know if y'all heard that one. That was pretty loud. And so this is coming from NASA. This is their drawing of the Big Bang. And this is another one that you'll probably see if you do just a simple image Google search. You see how in all the scientific representation, it is a light that emerges, and then all of the stars and planets and all this other kind of stuff emerges from this V, the same kind of V when we go back here that you see in ancient Kemet. And so here's a more elaborate, talking about the inflation begins, it kind of gives you a breakdown of what, the Big Bang is. Here's the inflation, the early building blocks, first nuclei, first atoms, da 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 da. This is a good image here. But you see the same type of imagery, used here. And so there's only one thing that I want to do, and I'm done, and that is to play this video from this astrophysicist here.
And so you 41 minutes in, and you already overtime.
It's only going to be like 2 to 3 minutes.
40 minutes, you just talked us to death now. Now we forgot what the conversation was.
How you forget what the conversation was?
Lost.
Don't just take this ass whooping with
Hell
grace.
no. You wouldn't take the ass whipping. You didn't beat yourself up.
Hold on.
It's an hour long.
What the hell is going on?
So now I'm trying.
All right, here you go. I know y'all couldn't even hear me. Damn, y'all couldn't hear none of that shit. Hold on. Let me do this again. Shit. Man. All right, look at the slide right there. Look to the left. All right. That's Tetralek right there. That's that fossil. He trying to correlate that with, look, the Dogon symbol of the fish. See the upper left-hand corner? Look underneath that slide. That's the Dogon slide. One of these symbols, the fish. And look at the Tetralek. He playing with y'all, yo. Damn, man, y'all couldn't hear me the whole time. Wow. Yeah, he playing. They gotta stop playing, yo. Because this is it. Look, see? See? Just throwing any damn thing together. Donald Prefalo, that's the fossil. I know what the fossil is. The Tetralek, the fish that does push-ups, yo. Evolution, right? What the fossils say and why it matters. He take the symbol of the Dogon. Let me get back to the show. Let me get back to this debate, y'all. Hold on. Playing, yo. Completely playing, yo. Doing way too much. I mean, out of control. I'm glad he ain't say that. He knew not to bring that up in the debate. Anyway, he way over his time and trying to do all that. That shit was very incoherent to me. If y'all understood that, y'all need to check in somewhere. Yeah.
That I want to do, and I'm done, and that is to play this video from this astrophysicist here.
I saw you 41 minutes in, and you already overtime.
It's only going to be like two to 3 minutes.
40 minutes. You just talked us to death now. Now we forgot what the conversation was.
How you forget what the conversation was?
Lost.
Don't just take this ass whooping.
Hell no. You wouldn't take the ass whipping. You didn't beat yourself up.
Hold on.
It's an hour long.
What the hell is going on?
So now, trust me, it's only like 2 minutes.
You're gonna get the
and this is what I'm ending. I'm saying you interrupting me is taking longer than the clip.
I didn't interrupt you. I gave you an extra 20 minutes. How the hell are you gonna make that statement? Yeah, I gave you 20 extra minutes.
Well, give me 22.
Yo, don't play that whole. Okay, you don't gotta show them. Just get them off the screen and play it.
I'm sorry.
Just don't show them play. Just play it.
Okay.
Oh my God, yo, you cheated. Yo,
listen, hold on. So what he's talking about here is the fundamental building blocks of creation. So this is a physicist.
Who is his name?
His name is David Tong, Dr. David Tong. He's speaking at Cambridge right now.
He's presenting a scientific paper or just talking shit? What are you doing?
No, he has plenty of scientific papers. He's one who's written a lot on quantum field theory. So you can look up his works. And so
no. I'm saying right now, is he presenting a scientific paper or he's just talking that talk? That's all.
No, he's talking to the public about the real building blocks of the universe. So just let it play and you can ask questions later.
Yeah, I know. Don't show it though. Sorry.
I understand, but don't interrupt me before.
I didn't interrupt you.
You just interrupted me. I pressed play and then you started talking.
I'm not interrupting you. Interrupting you would have been an interruption during your 25 minutes. Anytime after 25 minutes is not interruption.
Whooping.
So whatever, yo, you didn't beat yourself up. I can't wait to get at you. That's why I'm jumpy right now.
Then let me finish.
You didn't already went past this time. Yeah, but you finished. You was finished 25 minutes ago, Asar, and you still gonna have more to say after I beat you down.
Be quiet, Ankh.
No, I'm not gonna be quiet. Come on with that nonsense, man. You're over time, yo.
You're about to lose right now.
Lose what, Asar? You just told everybody on how.
It is 2 minutes.
I'm not gonna be quiet, Asar. Now I'm not gonna be quiet.
Minutes.
I don't care, but you can't play it, Asar. I didn't waste no time. The time was wasted when you went 20 minutes over, Asar. It was a waste of time.
This is 2 minutes, and I'm done.
Yeah, let me get it over with.
No, y'all not. Wait a minute, man. I'm simply saying, take it off the screen. Are you fucking serious right now?
Oh, yeah,
if I take it off the screen now, can I go back and press the play button? How do I press the play button?
That's what he's saying.
I
understand that, but he needs to shut up.
Damn, you just showed me
do what I need to do. I need to press
I'm not
the play.
shutting up, Asar. I didn't tell you to shut up when you went 25 minutes over. You went 25 minutes over. You're gonna tell me I got shut up.
Right.
Then you rude with that.
All right.
Come on, dude.
Go ahead, play button.
No, kids, you don't gotta jump in this. I'm not gonna let a nigga come on this motherfucker. Go 25 minutes overtime and then tell me I got shut up because I simply said don't show the video, play the video. Come on, stop.
Take the ass whooping with grace.
That's all.
Yeah, okay. Man, you doing the ass whooping? How you gonna? You just lost.
Hold on. Let him get it over. Go ahead, press play button.
All right, here we go.
You just. No, you put it back on the screen again. That's what I'm trying to tell you. What the fuck is going on?
I know you're not that slow on.
2,500 years ago, there are like Lego bricks.
Man, how the hell is... Okay, there you go, Asar. No, you ain't that slow.
It's a very nice picture. It's a very comforting picture. It's a picture we teach kids at school. It's the picture we even teach our students in undergraduate university. And there's a problem with it. The problem is it's a lie. It's a white lie. It's a white lie that we tell our children because we don't want to expose them to the difficult and horrible truth too early on. It makes it easier to learn if you believe that these particles are the fundamental building blocks of the universe. But it's simply not true. The best theories that we have of physics do not have underlying them
the quark particle and the two quark particle, and the electron particle and the two quark.
Now I want to do what I normally do. I want to go in the chat. Look at this nigga right here. Look, I can't deny though. Ankh act challenges as fuck sometimes. That shit gets up. Nigga, that nigga went over 25 minutes. Simple as that. We supposed to went on ahead and did 30 minutes. The dude damn near took a whole hour, yo. And then he started talking slick. Tell me to shut up. How? You 25 minutes overtime, dog. And the fact that you can't understand it with the fake Egyptian name, you wild. It's crazy as hell. See, that's what y'all do. Y'all let these type of people, yo, run this game on you, yo. Now, if you was at the beginning of the damn video, we had a time, yo. Yo went 25 minutes over, yo. So if you had a party and the party is over at 12 o'clock and the police come in there at 1 o'clock saying, man, get out of here. And you mad at the police, you say, you're an hour over. What are you talking about? Get the hell out. The fact that people can't understand it is ridiculous to me because y'all a bunch of ridiculous people at this point. He 25 minutes over. Google it. Get nobody know what the hell he talking about. He's supposed to be proving that the damn Egyptians understood the Big Bang. Get out of here with that. But that's why y'all stuck. Because you can't see the crap in front of your face, even when it smell like shit. Now back to our scheduled programming.
In fact, the very best theories we have of physics don't rely on particles at all. The best theories we have tell us that the fundamental building blocks of nature are not particles, but something much more nebulous and abstract. The fundamental building blocks of nature are fluid-like substances which are spread throughout the entire universe and ripple in strange and interesting ways. Okay.
And so what he said is exactly what the African said. That from this fluidity emerges what the physicists call particles, what the Egyptians called netures, which were the building blocks of the universe as we see it. And so when we have these conversations, we got to understand that the Africans were not stupid, that they conceived of the world and hypothesized its creation in various different ways. And some of those hypotheses also echo what modern physicists are saying in terms of the standard model. And you have to respect that. It's not saying that they built large hadron colliders and came to these conclusions. Is that when you analyze and understand the language of the...
That's what the hell you needed, was a large head collider to understand that. That's exactly what you needed. Asar. Get out of here with that, yo.
People and understand not the children's myths, but the initiated abstractions that the Africans were on par and on their way to leading in terms of theoretical physics. But colonialism changed that history. And now we're just now re-catching up after 2,000 years of fighting Arabs and Europeans and trying to hold on to what little that we can of our culture, our history, our way of teachings, and the like. And so with that said, I'm done.
Lies.
Amen and amen.
Asar, you ain't hear me try to tell you just don't play the video, yo.
Bruh, I heard you the first time.
I wasn't trying to cut you off.
Listen, I had to press the play button. I had to put it on the screen and press the play button before I can switch it from the video. That's why I said I know you're not that slow. You think that it's just going to play from osmosis, that I have some Hebrew Israelite miracles that is just going to press the play without me showing the screen and pressing the play button? No, I got to press play, then switch screens. It's that simple, but you keep talking and interrupting. Like I'm not intelligent enough to be able to do that. That's what's frustrating.
Well, they're like that to everybody else and walk. So we had boom. And
so you seen that just now, son? I just played the video without showing the screen, bro. So no, I'm not that stupid. I'm trying to figure out, is you that stupid that you got to show the screen to press the button? That's what I'm thinking. You think you're thinking that, I'm thinking that. That's what I'm thinking, Asar. Like, is this nigga that stupid that he need to show the screen and press the button? Yeah, Asar, you kind of confused me right there, bro. Yeah, I thought you could actually do what I just did. Just press the button without showing the screen. My fault, Asar, excuse me. Now let me get on and get you up out of here. Let me get you up out of here. So what y'all just witnessed is a failure to communicate. He do what they all do. Right? He actually gave you the rendition of the ancient astronauts. All of a sudden, out of nowhere, they got this profound knowledge of the cosmos. That's not how life works. Yeah, I wish it did, Asar. It don't work that way. Let me make my point. Where you at for a second, though? Where you at, Corey? We'll make sure you woke. You up? Gone. Kent, how you doing, brother? You up?
I'm good, my brother.
Well, yeah, how you doing, Chef Fennell? You up? He done. All right. Let me get right here, man. Let me show my screen. Let me do what I want to do.
Peep. Motherfuckers ain't saying nothing. Peep. Scared to death. Peep. Quiet, sleep, falling asleep, not around. Crazy. Peep.
So we can understand exactly what's going on. Oh, man, you did a good job, though, Asar. You didn't address the point, though. You did a great job. What's the point? What are we really talking about here? All right? We're talking about not the fact that Africans didn't have symbolic thought. Over here, we teach that symbolic thought starts at PB13. PB13B, pinnacle point, symbolic thought. So any racist European coming in with that hooblage that they can't abstractly view the universe is a bunch of malarkey. We don't follow that malarkey. What we talk about is high-level science right here. When we talk about the Big Bang, we're not talking about myths. We're not talking about how you transmit it. That ain't what we talking about. Let me share my screen. See the screen? Am I correct? Kent, can you see the screen? Corey, can you see the screen?
It's up.
Science is undefeated. While ancient cultures couldn't understand the Big Bang. It's all in the senses. Hold on 1 second.
In the meantime, y'all make sure y'all like and subscribe to the channel. You know what I'm saying? Appreciate everybody that tuned in. Got a good 112 million in the building. Appreciate Asar for coming through, man. You know what I mean? Let's go and get to it.
All right, y'all can see the screen, right? Can you see the screen, baby?
Yeah, I see it. It's on it.
All right. So we right here. All right, let's move on. Hope this don't slow it up.
Say science is undefeated.
Yeah, science is undefeated, man. Hope this don't slow it up. All right, let's go to the next one. So what we're talking about is our senses. What people try to do is they try to give a point that would make you say, I can see they know that. I can see how they did that. But what we want to know is we want to ask the question, how did they know that? Because asking the question of how did they know that would confirm whether they understood something or not. We talk about science. We're not talking about the basic rudimentary science, right? That started out, that built the foundation for everywhere. We talk about astronomy, and we clearly understand where astronomy starts at, right? But what we need to take care of here, I need to make this very simple for y'all. I'm gonna use a little Neil on y'all, Neil deGrasse. We talk about senses versus science, like your 5 senses. It seems pretty simple, doesn't it? Our first and most basic link to the universe is provided by our senses. Seeing something or hearing it, smelling it, feeling it, tasting it, grounds us in reality. So our senses must be an important part of looking at the world from a scientific point of view, right? That certainly sounds right. But Neil has argued repeatedly that our senses are not terribly good indicators when it comes to scientific matters. Now, we know on the green savanna, right, in the Sahara and on the plains, that our ancestors were masters of that using their senses. What Asar is coming to attempt to do is he's trying to usurp the senses. Because we're really talking about what? Let me keep moving. Instrumentation. Watch this. The notion that seeing is believing, he writes in his Astrophysics for People in a Hurry, works well in many endeavors, including mechanical engineering, fishing, and perhaps dating. But it doesn't make for good science. Science is not just about seeing, it's about measuring, preferably with something that's not your own eyes, which are hold on 1 second. Let me get Corey in. Hold on. You back in there, Corey?
Yeah, he in there.
I can't hear him.
Oh, yeah. There it is.
Oh, you disappeared on us. What happened to you, bro?
I had to run upstairs.
Hold on, my shit stopped moving.
Yeah, the little ones. The little ones.
Oh, shoot.
Hold
on a second. Was you, my shit is stuck right there. Where I was at, I was like, Neil argued repeatedly. Hold on.
Yeah, it was a different slide on that.
I knew it's stuck. Hold on. Hold on a second. What? Hey, man, see that? All right, let me get out the screen. You stop the screen sharing. Hold on for a second. I let you in the damn screen froze up. Corey.
Yeah. Dang.
That was your Hawashah getting back at you for that pseudo you about to
get. Ancestors working against
that was Kulu.
Happy New Year's, everybody, too, man.
Yeah, no doubt. Happy New Year, though, no doubt.
Man.
Hold on 1 second, yo. Let me get that out there. Hold on 1 second. Hold on, that shit froze up. You did that shit on purpose, Asar.
Yeah, you sent one of them curses, Joe.
No, it's all good. When I hit, Chef then switched the shit to me, which made me have to use all the power. He just did that on purpose. That's some bullshit.
Done blew the chip.
That's all right. I knew I couldn't do all that. You know what I mean? Right, he did it any motherfucking way. Hold on, man. Hold on.
Ain't nothing wrong with that, man.
Blew the speakers.
Blew the speakers. you was reading from that, John. I got your whatever slide that was you had up. Let's talk about the notion, seeing is believing. That's what you was on.
Yeah, hold on, yeah. I want to do a thing. Hold on. Yeah, I'll see it now.
Yeah,
nah,
not yet.
All right, hold on. Damn, man. Let you hit the button.
Yeah.
Where we at?
That's
okay.
Not your eyes.
That's not your eyes, which are inextricably conjured with the baggage of your brain. Let me go back here because I want everybody to get this. Why this shit ain't moving, yo? God damn, that's bullshit. Let me start right here. The notion that seeing is believing. Y'all can see it, right? He writes in Astrophysics for People in a Hurry. Works well in many endeavors, including mechanical engineering, fishing, and perhaps dating. But it does not make for good science. Science is not just about seeing. It's about measuring, preferably with something that's not your own eyes, which are inexplicably conjured with the baggage of your brain. That baggage is more often than not a satchel of preconceived ideas, post-conceived notions, and outright bias. So what is he saying here? He's saying that just your senses, just by yourself. He talks about how your brain and your eyes can become baggage. We understand this. We can get tricked by a magic trick on the stage all day long. That's your five senses failing you all day long. And there are things called biases. Let's read Neil's words. Science did not achieve maturity. He says maturity until we what? Invented machines, mechanisms, devices that either replaced our senses, intended our senses, or extended our senses, or became a whole other sense entirely. There are things going on out there that our five senses know nothing about. Now, Asar have you thinking they knew it. They knew that. They knew. Well, how? Was it the deity that gave it to them? How did they know? Yeah, I heard your lecture there, Asar. I liked it. So let's get you some tools right here. Watch this. Stone. Hold on, man. Come on, Onyx. Go get the dog, bro. The stone circle of Natapliya marks the summer solstice, a time, right, that coincided with the arrival of the monsoon rains in the Sahara Desert thousands of years ago. This is a tool that will help extend the senses of our ancestors. So I'm not coming here tonight to say that our ancestors didn't have tools. I'm coming here to show you that they had tools. And when somebody starts talking about, they understood the celestial bodies and how they traveled the sky, how this happened, I want to know what tools they use. Just standing there staring at the sky ain't gonna be good enough. You need things you measure with, and our ancestors got the oldest such tool to do that. Now, Saul gonna have to show us the Bantoon tools that they use. Right? We call it, so what? What is this? Oldest such mechanism on planet Earth goes back to about 5,000 years. We call it a megalith. They got about 35,000 megaliths in Europe. Right? Sean did some videos showing some megaliths. But the oldest one is right here in Africa. So this is the gift to the world right here. This starts us along our way. We don't need to take that from our ancestors. Without this, This is essential to get into space, but it's a tool. And without this tool, you can't measure things they measure. And if a person come amongst you and say they could just did it by just doing it, just by staring at it, they made that up. Not the Playa, the world's first astronomical site, was built in Africa and is older than Stonehenge. This 7,000-year-old stone circle tracked the summer solstice and the arrival of the annual monsoon seasons. It's the oldest known astronomical site on Earth. Discovery Magazine. No, don't put them right there, man. Put them up. Science Magazine, y'all know what it is. Africans, Homo sapiens, were the first, what? Techies. So we give credit to Africa, but we make sure we don't reach. I've seen people actually take this right here and make it more than what it was. Matter of fact, it's a marvel during that time. You don't get no better than that. That's top-notch, top-of-the-line technology in their world. You don't get better than that. It's not in Europe. It's not in Asia. It's not in North America. It's in Africa proper. It ain't in Egypt. No, it's in Africa proper. Not to say that Egypt was not in Africa, but I'm saying this is down south. This is important right here. I've seen people take that, right, and reach. You know what we say around here, Asar? When you reach, we teach. So now we're teaching. We're showing you that there are tools that will extend our senses. This is important for what I'm saying here. Catch on. Let's keep moving. First techies on planet Earth is the African. Now this picture right here is the first nerds. That's who we was. A reconstruction of a Homo sapien hunting party from the BPC. Documentary, Planet of the Ape Man. New research traces the birth of technology 70,000 years ago in Southern Africa. Man, y'all can just find, this ain't hidden in the secret library nowhere. Technology found in South Africa predates similar artifacts found in Europe by 30,000 years. Archaeological claims it decisively shows that Africa is the birthplace of modern human cognition. Findings debunk widely held belief that modern human behavior originated in Europe 40,000 years ago. So we all passed that stage. And guess what, y'all? Science has actually showed us what? Archaeology. It was there that our ancestors made the first bone tools, the first abstract art, the first stone-tipped spears, and arrow research. What the hell is I'm talking about? I'm getting you there. I'm showing you there are steps to getting to the Big Bang. You gotta be the tool makers first. There are steps in this thing we're talking about. You don't just leap into the Big Bang. They chime with findings published just last month, which suggests that the development of long-range weapons in Africa was the technological breakthrough which allowed humans to become the dominant species. There's no jumping in technology. You don't just build a 747. The first gadgets, a bone point from the Middle Stone Age levels, Pierce Cave. The exact context is unknown. Bone tools from Still Bay levels at Bloomblas Cave. See those tips? See those micro lips? You got to start there to get to here. There's no jumping on planet Earth. There's steps to getting there. Bam, spears, West African spears. But you don't get to the spears until you get here first. You got to understand that first. Once you understand that, then you can move to this. There's no step jumping. The universe is a teacher, but it takes steps. You have to surpass your natural senses. You got to get past that. Some more West African spirits. These are better. You'll see through time they get better and better and better. As Homo sapiens sapiens get better at what they're doing. But without this, without the spears, you don't have this. You first project your bullets. So your spears are your first projectiles. Your spear tips, your micro lips. You need this and this before you get to this. You would not find our ancient ancestors with bullets. It would be ridiculous. But that's not to say that their level of intelligence would not have allowed them to produce bullets. It's just the time it takes to get to that level. Same thing with the Big Bang. Once you understand projectiles, right? Sam Bushman rock art. Sevilla Rock Art Trail, right? West Cape Province of South Africa. You see the bow and arrow on rock art 40, 50,000 years ago. You see him holding a bow. A bow does what? A bow pushes the arrow. Motion. So you go from throwing a spear, you go from bone tips to tips that go on arrows, to arrows that you're throwing, spears that you're throwing, to being able to put more force behind it by using a bow. So you go from this to understand projectiles and making shit move, right? And later on you will get to this. There's no this ICBM size comparison. That's intercontinental ballistic missiles. There's no intercontinental ballistic missiles without this, this, and this, and this. If you skip any of these stages, you do not get to this. It's impossible. It won't happen. Same with the Big Bang. Bow and arrow hunting is a technology first developed in the early mountain humans in Africa, perhaps as long as 71,000 years ago. Archaeological evidence shows that the technology was certainly used by humans during the Howells Point phase of the Middle Stone Age in Africa between 37,000 and 5,000 years ago. Recent evidence at South Africa Pinnacle Point Cave tentatively pushes the initial use back to 71,000 years ago. So I knew I was coming into this situation, right? So I want to read something to you. Something I wrote. You know, I saw them say, nigga, if you got something to say, put it in writing. Some shit, fuck it, put it in writing. What does all this have to do with the Big Bang? Should have asked Asar what the hell was all the other shit he had to do with the Big Bang. Watch this. This little thing I wrote is entitled, Humans in Their Five Senses. Human beings were forged out of the evolutionary process in Earth's ecological system. Humans evolved in the protection layer of gases called the atmosphere. These gases are important, like oxygen we breathe, carbon dioxide, nitrogen, ozone, water vapor. The atmosphere protects us from the sun's harmful rays and some meteors that might crash into the earth. The atmosphere has 4 layers. The troposphere, stratosphere, mesosphere, thermosphere. Our 5 senses were fine-tuned for the survivability of Homo sapiens within the planet's gravitational field and the troposphere. That we Earthlings. We're not spacelings, but we Earthlings. We wasn't made in space. We was forged in the ecological system of Earth. When humans leave the protection of Earth, they need special suits and breathing apparatuses to survive in space. The more time humans spend in outer space, the more muscle density they lose. There's no up and down in space. This affects your equilibrium and can cause problems with thinking and movement. The natural advantages humans have on Earth, we lose in space. These reasons should be clear because we evolved on this planet. Humans can close the gap by creating tools, not the plier, megaliths, tools and instruments that help navigate outer space. For the same reasons our early ancestors would have never made it to space, let alone survive there, is the same reasons they wouldn't have understood the Big Bang. Watch this. The lack of tools and instrumentation places limitation on our ability to practice science, not our minds. Let me look at you. So it wasn't the minds of our ancestors that couldn't allow them to see or understand the Big Bang. It wasn't their minds, because you could take a hunter-gatherer, okay, from the Stone Age or Bronze Age human and bring him here right now and sit him in a class with Asar Hotep, and he can learn all the shit Asar got. You can sit him in an astrophysics class, give him the foundations, work his way up, bro, and he can help build rockets. That's not what we were saying. What we were saying was why they couldn't understand the Big Bang? Because their senses would fail them. Because there's certain tools that they need. They need math is a tool. Asar knows that. Telescopes are a tool. Asar knows that. Megaliths are tools. Asar knows that. I like the way you put that together, though, Asar. I think we learned a lot, but what we should be focusing on, okay, is that high-level science. And with that high-level science, you can't get past that wall. What's the wall? The tools. The tools. It's the tools that wouldn't allow our ancestors to understand the Big Bang. Now, if you was to take anything away from our ancestors, their knowledge, right, of astronomy, take that away, right? Make them something that they're not. Make them know the Big Bang, then everything after that would disappear. Because now you've knocked out the steps. Take away the spear. Take away the arrowheads, and then the jets and the rockets would disappear. This world we live in is serious. It takes time and effort to get to a certain place. It's the foundation built upon, and a culmination of what they did in Africa, and a culmination of what they did in Europe. It's a culmination of things that puts us in a position to even be able to build tools that would allow us to understand the Big Bang. There's three things you need to understand the Big Bang, and I'm gonna turn it over to Asar. I ain't gonna turn it over to Asar because you went 40 minutes. You ain't getting that mic back yet. You gotta be patient. Let me name the three things you're gonna need here. You're gonna need a cosmic microwave background, the cosmic CMB. You're gonna need that. You're gonna need the Hubble law. You're gonna need that. You're going to need nuclear synthesis. You're going to have to understand nuclear synthesis. You're going to have to understand the cosmic background radiation, and you're going to have to understand the Hubble law. If you don't understand that, you're not going to understand the Big Bang. But that's okay. You're going to need that Lumumba bone in South Africa that goes back 30,000 years before you can get to the complex math that we find later on. Where you at, Concrete Corey? What say you about Sir Hotep presentation?
Yeah. I don't think he demonstrated that there was no way that the ancients knew about the Big Bang. I just like you said in your little presentation, I think it's actually taken away from the order of the way things went, and is taken away from showing people how we built upon that ancient knowledge. Those early astronomers, those early astronomers who used the celestial bodies that they could see with the naked eye to determine, certain things, like when to plant the crops, or when to harvest the crops, or whatever, when the winter solstice was coming, or whatever, what have you, you know what I mean? And so learning that, being able to identify that pattern and then using that in their real everyday life is amazing. You know what I'm saying? It's a accomplishment that many couldn't complete today. Like, I don't think I could probably come up with that today. You know what I'm saying? Without some of the tools that I use that we have at our luxury today. So, it's just little small things like, the red shift, like that's how we understand that the galaxy, that the universe is expanding. But in order to see, the red shift, something has to be, you have to be looking at something that's approaching a fraction of the speed of light. And you're not going to be able to see that with the naked eye. So that's how we understand the expansion, you know what I'm saying, through the Doppler effect. Well, and we got tools that help us out, help us see that, you know what I'm saying? Because we don't see the infrared either. We can't see infrared with our naked eyes or whatever. So, if y'all want to jump in, anybody want to jump in, that's just what I have for right now. I really like more of a back and forth dialogue, me myself. So,
got some questions? You gotta have some questions for him. Did you watch? Where you at, Chef Fennell? Talking to Chef. He ain't even around, yo. God damn. Kent.
Yo.
Got some questions about the presentation?
Okay, so Asar, are you saying that the Bantu people were aware or coming upon the knowledge of or the discovery of the Big Bang, or that's where the universe was created from?
Well, the first thing we have to do is correct the conversation. And this is something that Brother Sean and Brother Ben, and which I just witnessed right now, reiterated. Because you have to go back to how Ankh is wording the question. Did the Africans understand the Big Bang? And that's not what we're arguing. We're arguing simply that when you compare the African cosmologies and sit it side by side with certain modern cosmologies, they mirror in very fundamental ways. So to sit here and try to make it seem like we're even arguing that the ancients understood the Big Bang is a straw man argument that no one is even making. And so while it's some useful information that he's teaching, is ultimately irrelevant. For example, the Greeks at around the 5th century BCE comes up with this concept. Africans already had it, but for the European folks, comes up with this concept called the atom. They don't have Schrodinger's equations. They don't have Einstein's relativity, which in his arguments gives birth to modern quantum mechanics. They have none of this. There's no hadron collider, but they come up with this concept that the universe is built from these atoms that come together and form the matter that we see. Europeans were not able to prove that until 2,000 years later. They were able to build off of the concept and to later prove the concept of the existence of atoms. And then now it's further broken down into quarks and up and down quarks. And now the fundamental is fields. And the particles that we see are the agitations of these fields. That's the discussion now. But it started from the atoms of the Greeks, which they had no interest. Yeah, I can hear you.
You know, I had a second part of that. I was going to say, so because Sean and them said, or Mossy Warriors made the claim that they got some of it right. And what we're trying to figure out is what part did they get right?
First of all, they got the fields aspect right. And this is one of the things that I proved. They proved that there was an emptiness and void.
Hold on, Corey.
They showed that there was an emptiness and void that was not all the way empty, which is now reemerging in modern quantum mechanics. In terms of they would say a fire force, when they talk about inflationary theory, you know, it's an intense heat that cooks and gives birth to the initial particles, which give birth to, you know, all the other chemicals which make the universe, and they start spinning and
Did I just not hear him in the same breath? Flim, flam, blam, blam, boom. His point was very clear that although the information I presented was valuable, we're not arguing that they understood the Big Bang. And then he dives right into they understood particle physics. Man, I give the hell up. I give up, yo. Let's go back and replay that again to make sure I'm not losing my mind. Because we got people in the chat, you know what I'm saying, that will defend nonsense no matter what. Shoot.
And the Big Bang. And that's not what we're arguing.
Or coming up on the knowledge of or the discovery of the Big Bang, or that's where the universe was created from?
Well, the first thing we have to do is correct the conversation. And this is something that Brother Sean and Brother Ben, and which I just witnessed right now, reiterated. Because you have to go back to how Ankh is wording the question. Did the Africans understand the Big Bang? And that's not what we're arguing. We're arguing simply that when you compare the African cosmologies and sit it side by side with certain modern cosmologies, they mirror in very fundamental ways. So to sit here and try to make it seem like we're even arguing that the ancients understood the Big Bang is a straw man argument that no one is even making. And so while it's some useful information that he's teaching, it's ultimately irrelevant. For example, the Greeks at around the 5th century BCE comes up with this concept. Africans already had it, but for European folks, comes up with this concept called the atom. They don't have Schrodinger's equations. They don't have Einstein's relativity, which in his arguments gives birth to modern quantum mechanics. They have none of this. There's no hadron collider, but they come up with this concept that the universe is built from these atoms that come together and form the matter that we see. Europeans were not able to prove that until 2,000 years later. They were able to build off of the concept and to later prove the concept of the existence of atoms. And then now it's further broken down into quarks and up and down quarks. And now the fundamental is fields. And the particles that we see are the agitations of these fields. That's the discussion now. But it started from the atoms of the Greeks, which they had no interest. Yeah, I can hear you.
You know, I had a second part of that. I was going to say, so because Sean and them said, or Mossy Warriors made the claim that they got some of it right. And what we're trying to figure out is what part did they get right?
First of all, they got the fields aspect right. And this is one of the things that I proved. They proved that there was an emptiness and void.
Hold on, Corey.
They showed that there was an emptiness and void that was not all the way empty, which is now reemerging in modern quantum mechanics. In terms of they would say a fire force, when they talk about inflationary theory, you know, it's an intense heat that cooks and gives birth to the initial particles.
Crazy. Let me show this. So he mentioned the atom thing. He flamed y'all again. He constantly stay flaming, yo. Atom, the history of it. Okay. The basic idea that matter is made up of a tiny invisible particle is an old idea that appeared in many ancient cultures. The word atom is derived from the ancient Greek word atomos, which means uncuttable. This ancient idea was based on philosophical reasoning rather than scientific reasoning. The modern atomic theory is not based on these old concepts. So knock it off, bro. They keep playing. See how he bind those two things together? Blim, 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 boom. And it sound good to those who really love Africa? Man, they scam me intellectual real estate, bro. And it continues to go on and on and on and on and on. And they just won't stop. So let me finish this off. I'm going to throw that damn link down. And what say you? Boy, I tell you, man. Never stop. Never stop. Wordplay. People in the chat hating. Stop hating. Practice love, not hate.
Which give birth to, you know, all the other chemicals which make the universe, and they start spinning and colliding with each other. These are concepts that emerge in Africa. even the concept of the atom itself. The point being here,
not the goddamn atom we talking about. See how he did it? See, they already admit that ancient cultures had, they're talking about the smallest part, the smallest thing, but it's just based off of their philosophy, though. How does he leave that out? That's essential. You can't leave that out, and if you leave that out, you flam. It said a lot of ancient cultures had that. Simple as that. But it was based off a philosophy. You know, everything starts at the small. A damn baby starts out small and gets big. So it's not hard to imagine that the world you're looking at started out small and got big, y'all. See how they play, y'all, man? They playing. I'm trying to tell you, yo.
Is that before you can get to any scientific experiments, you have to conceive of the concept first. And if you have the technology at your time to demonstrate that it is that this is a reality, good for you. But a lot of times, and this is something that I mentioned at the beginning of the conversation, like with the Higgs boson. The Higgs boson was a conceptualization based on deductive reasoning on math. No physical anything.
Yeah, I can only take so much at this point. Yeah, it's too much. Play too much. Yeah. Play way too much, man. Nah, they play too much, yo. Yep. Just play too much, yo. Way too much. Now I done dropped the link, man. Anybody want to get on, man? We 2 hours into it, man. Oh, man. Look, man, go ahead, drop that hit that Cash App, man. Stop playing. Stop playing. 153 the lottery. Man, look, man, hit the Cash App, man. Get the likes of the video up, man. Let's go. Stop playing, man. Show some love, man. Y'all know what it is, man. Bobby Banger, man. Get the likes up, man. We taking the Cash App break around here from the foolery. Show some love from above. Hey.
First things first, I bricks all the honeys, dummies,
money,
for the gummies. Gotta keep
the
them
gummies.
Coming.
Keep them coming.
Nothing better,
never roll a dice.
But the money.
But nothing better move but the Cash App money.
Motherfucking move but the money.
But nothing better move but the Cash App money. Get the likes up, huh? Get the likes up. First thing first. Y'all know what it is. Show some love.
Nothing better motherfucking move but the money.
Nothing better move but the Cash App money.
Nothing better motherfucking move but the money.
Show some love. Y'all know what it is, man. Transmitting signs as best we can. Hey. Get Royce.
It's the kid choice.
Uh-huh.
Was a big moist.
Big moist.
Me to do it big, bro.
Yeah.
Did it how you did, bro.
Yeah, Mr. P, I see you.
Yeah.
Yeah, we know it.
Every time that I speak in the mic, the electrolyte, Peter light that's giving you light. See what's done in the dark, go come to the light. Hell raising, you taking the heavenly flight. See the Glock is clipped up, the blunts is all woods, the insurance paid up. My
y'all know what it is, man. Show some love around here, man, to the channel, man. Yo, we building. Hey, first, honeys.
Edible place for the gummies. Gotta keep them coming. There's a roll of dice, but nothing better motherfucking move but the money.
But the money, the Cash App money, man. Show some love, man.
Motherfucking move but the money.
And nothing better move but the Cash App money. Man, hit the likes, man. You like the show. We got 90,000 in the building, man. Keeping it strong, right? Not allowing people to flim, bam, bam, and scam your intellectual real estate between your damn ears. And just because we can understand and reason and understand what's going on doesn't mean we hate Africa or hate ancient cultures or think ancient people were stupid or behind or backwards. That's what the Europeans said before Charles Darwin reported his quote-unquote theory. He was the one that recognized that all humans, no matter where they was at in a technological advancements in their culture, were fundamentally just as intelligent as each other. He was the one that said humanity started out in Africa first. He was the one that said we didn't come from monkeys and apes. It was Darwin who said that. He was the one that put out material that would actually disturb and put the scientific racism at bay. He was the one to say, no, just judging off of color, yo, it's crazy. You're not dumb because you darker. That's stupid. Just because you in hunter-gatherer stage doesn't mean that you're not intelligent at all. That's crazy. Right. So, what's going on, Google Scholar, man? How you doing, bro? Appreciate you jumping on the panel, man.
Peace, peace.
Yeah,
How's it going?
Foolery. Just trying to stay away from the foolery. Yeah, but let me do this real quick before you get into your thing.
Go ahead, go ahead.
Let me mention some love that was brought that keeps me going. LaShawn, I see you. Appreciate you. That's love right there, Brash. You know I always appreciate that, bro. You always show some love, man. That's love right there, yo. Gotta appreciate that. All the way. Go ahead, brother. My first caller, man. Google Scholar, man. How you doing? What's on your mind, man? What's good?
Yeah, you know, it's all good. I was listening, and it brought me back to the time when all this was going on, and I was there listening. I wanted to say that at first I was saying,
pick up the shadow.
Asar is a very intelligent brother.
He is.
I can't think to myself that he's ignorant of what he's doing. so that's my dilemma here. I don't think he is. I think in a lot of ways I think he's probably smarter than me, right? But it's clear to me that what he's doing is faulty reasoning, right? In philosophy, they have a thing that they call post hoc rationalization, right?
Yep.
Is where you go to like ancient things, and you look at things that we have now discovered, and you try to retrofit that ancient thing as to say they are that's what they were talking about, or they had some idea of that. And that's what I see him doing. Because even now, when I was re-listening to what he was saying, he was basically saying that the idea that the Egyptians have an idea that they call the primordial waters. Yeah, he's basically trying to equate that to quantum fields in quantum mechanics. Yeah, that's more than crazy. So I'm not trying to say, I don't want to be saying he's doing it on purpose, but I don't know what else to think, because
oh man,
yeah.
Sometimes you gotta, walk like a duck and then quack like a duck is a duck.
Yeah, it's crazy to me, and the point that you brought out is an excellent point. It's not that the people couldn't have eventually get to the position of understanding the Big Bang, but it takes steps. And you can't go from point A to point Z without going through B C going down. And he want to say when they were at D, they already understand what's at X. That's wrong, and there's no way they could have. But that's okay. It doesn't mean they were unintelligent or they were stupid.
No,
it's just that they didn't reach that point yet.
Correct. I mean, correct. And then we take away from the groundbreaking shit they did do to focus on the groundbreaking shit we did.
Yeah.
Which is bananas. that's the part that make me cringe, right? That these ancient people, and specifically we talking about Africa, yo, their ability, their survivability in harsh environments, ever-changing environments, right?
Yeah.
To be able to, supply food, clothing, and shelter, yo, was at high levels. And then to get past that point and have surplus, right, to really, focus in on literature and tools, you know what I'm saying, in the world around them, and to come to certain understanding about things, yo, was spectacular unto itself. And to come here with a 2023 understanding of the damn universe and place that on them, yo, it's right there with ancient aliens. That's exactly what the ancient aliens do.
Yeah, pretty much, yeah. And in the environment that
Von Donovan. So Asar is Von Donovan at this point.
yeah, I know. Well, yeah, because we also have to understand that in our modern world, right?
Yeah.
We have more comfort. Certain things, even scientists have already told us that the ancient people, they weren't less than us in terms of their intellectual ability,
They
but
wasn't.
they had other distractions. You know that we didn't even see like any forms of civilization until humans were able to get together and settle down in a place and do things like farming. You know what I'm saying? Because they had other concerns that they had to grapple with every day. You had to stay alive. Things that we don't think about in the modern world. You wake up in the morning, a lion or something could take away one of your babies. You wake up,
Yep.
they drag away. So those things were more to the forefront of not that they weren't thinking about stuff, but I'm just saying they had much more distractions to be nowadays, for example, somebody can you know, dedicate their whole lives to studying, just reading books,
Yep.
and they can make a good living from that. Back then, even if you were reading books, you still had to make a living somehow.
Mm.
So, and at one point, you didn't have people who were until you had like civilization, like societies passing a certain point, you couldn't have people who specialize, right? You couldn't have somebody who his job was just to write books. You couldn't have somebody whose his job was just to teach the babies. You get what I mean? Everybody would have to figure out on their own. So even though the family is here and you get together as a community, you have to teach your kids. You have to write anything that needs to be written down. You have to make the food. You have to go get the food. So people didn't have time to specialize. But when farming came and people were able to settle down in larger communities, then you get people who can specialize. So somebody can try to figure out how to make a chariot. You get what I mean?
Mhm.
So that's the progression that you have to see before you talk about people understanding certain information, or that the information that they brought forth was correct in any way. They were thinking about stuff just as you are today, but they couldn't really know certain things because of the information. They didn't have all the steps together like we do.
Mm. So yeah, I'm first of all, you gotta get out your own way. First of all,
Hmm.
right now to this day, you got people that believe in monsters. Right
Hmm.
now to this day, you got people that believe that God reached down the earth and scooped up dirt and blew into man, and he became a living soul. Right now,
Yeah. Yeah.
right now. Now imagine being in an environment where everybody thought that. Now they might not all believe in the Bible because they never even most people didn't know about no damn Bible, but they sure enough
Yeah.
had their own creation stories, right?
Hmm.
See, we can't even imagine in an environment that nobody understood what a continent was. Nobody.
No.
We think that ancient people thought that they came from the universe. But they actually thought that they came from their imagined area of the world because they had not explored the whole world.
Yes.
Okay, we do that again. We practice these anachronisms all the time. We place the way we see the world on them. That's what they doing with the ancient Egyptian conversation. They doing it exactly. That's exactly what they doing. They exactly what they doing. Right? They think that people actually understood how children was born. Took a while to figure out what is making this baby. Took a while. Y'all think that everybody's new. I'm gonna stick it in and have a baby. See, that's what y'all thinking. That ain't nope. So they didn't know about continents, right? They didn't have geology, right? Geodesy, geology. They didn't have none of that. The Egyptians didn't know about continents, so why would they name themselves after a continent? Man, I want y'all to know geology is a scientific study. So when we talk about Africa, we talking about a continent that is within the field of geology. Y'all didn't know that, huh? Y'all let somebody dive out the window and say, yeah, everything is a social construct. So let's just stand there and talk about the Egyptians by doing this. You couldn't possibly use any words. So no, the people didn't understand. They had no need to, like you said, they had no need to understand it. The Egyptians, you had like the Egyptians went to America. You had like the Egyptians went outside of the Mediterranean Sea. They never left the Mediterranean Sea. You know what I'm saying? The Greeks, what do you, man, really? Do you think they left the Mediterranean Sea and sailed to America? I know y'all think that. Yeah, none of that was in play. They all thought they came from their creation stories, and their creation stories simply consisted of their world. So the Bible is not written from a world, right, perspective or cosmic perspective. It's written from a Hebrew tribal perspective. Same with the Egyptians. Same with the damn Egyptians. You like everybody not literate now. See, imagine being in an environment where the Bible was written in times where most people couldn't read nor write. You think everybody was there? Come on, man. Y'all not even reading the original. There's no original Bible. They don't have it. They don't have original Bibles, and they don't even have facsimiles. A facsimile is the direct copy from the original. They don't have none of that. So, I mean, they did lights weren't even invented when you're trying to copy this shit. You using candlelight. When the shit run out daytime, it's candlelight. Right next. Come on, man. So whatever, right?
Yeah, and you mentioned something about the Bible, and it triggered something. This is the same thing that I see Christians and Muslims do, right? I don't know if you ever heard this, but there's a verse in the Bible that says, the things that appear are made from things that are unseen. And I had a Christian try to tell me that that was talking about like subatomic particles. And if you're gonna take the approach that Asar is taking, you cannot then say to the Christian that what you're saying is wrong because they're doing the same exact thing.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Absolutely. Go ahead.
Yeah, no, you have to really think about it. Even I have because nowadays I talk to a lot of Muslims. Muslims tell me, yeah, if you go to the Quran, it talks
Yeah.
about the Big Bang. And it's the same kind of idea, right?
Yeah.
They find something that
sounds
sounds
similar.
to something similar that science is talking about. Yeah,
Yep.
that's what they were talking about.
Mm-hmm.
You can't do that. It's post hoc rationalization, and it's wrong.
Yep. Exactly. Yep. So yeah, he's talking about the cosmic this and the cosmic that, and the Egyptians in the waters of none. So y'all just don't study ancient religions. I do. And since I study ancient religions and enjoy reading different cosmologies, I'll just open you up just background. This is the cosmic ocean.
Mm-hmm.
The cosmic ocean, primordial waters, right?
Yeah.
Or celestial river is a mythological motif that represents the world or cosmos enveloped by a vast primordial ocean. Found in many cultures and civilizations, the cosmic ocean exists before the creation of the earth. From the primordial waters, the earth and the entire cosmos arose. The cosmic ocean represents and embodies chaos. Cosmic oceans is present in the mythology of the Zadis.
Yazidis. Yazidis.
Mm-hmm. The Yarsenians, the Alvii, the ancient Egyptians. See, Asar
Ancient
trying to pull that
Egyptians.
on y'all. See, he tried to pull it. He tried to make it. He tried to get y'all. Ancient Greeks, the Jews. Y'all know the Jews.
Yeah.
In the beginning, God created heaven and earth, and the
Yeah.
earth was formless,
A
boho and
form of
toho.
void. Yeah.
Yeah, void. See,
Yeah.
in the face of the deep. And
Yeah. And
the Spirit of
darkness
the
was
Lord was
over
over
the
the face of
waters.
the deep, nigga. See?
Same thing. Yeah.
See, y'all playing ancient India, ancient Persians, Sumerians, and Zoroastrians. See, y'all playing, yo. I'm not playing. The ancient creation texts, the primordial waters, are often represented as having filled the entire universe and are the first source of the gods. The act of creation is established of an inhabitable space separate from enveloping waters. The cosmic ocean is the shape of the universe before creation. Whatever.
Yeah.
Y'all thought that was just the African. That's the game they play.
Yeah, but you
World
hear
ocean.
he was trying to equate that to the quantum mechanics and the quantum fields.
Yeah, he
That's what
did
he
all
was
that.
doing.
Did all
Yeah.
that. Here, I want to show y'all. Here you go. Cosmic water, y'all. There you go. Reveals Brahma and Vishnu.
Shiva.
Shiva. There you go. Yeah, don't talk to me until y'all do a little more reading. Chill out. Relax yourself. But that's okay. That's okay. Like y'all forget that the most essential thing to human beings is water. You can't go 3 days without drinking water. Go ahead and try it. You're gonna die. So essential was water. You couldn't even go nowhere without knowing you was gonna get some water.
Water, yeah.
Okay. So to them, water was the most essential, and obviously the world came out of water. Out the ocean. See?
This is a good question. This is a good question. Asar Car says, what
No, I'm
happened?
not listening. I'm not listening. You're not even gonna do it, yo. We're not doing that. Yeah, we're not doing that, yo. And what happened when they said almond first existed was like the same thing that happened. God created the heavens and the earth, and the earth was formed. God created two lights. See, Yahweh created two great lights.
Yeah.
The damn sun and the moon. How? Anyway, man. No, I'm not ignoring you, Asar. You just flim. Y'all don't feel like too many. Yeah, we didn't deep into the flim. We don't feel like doing. I'm not ignoring you, man. That shit don't make no sense, y'all. I'm not doing it with you, man. You best fit for Smash Channel. Go over there and y'all play pseudo judo. I'm not doing it. Yeah, go over there and play with that. The Egyptians knew. Yeah, so like I'm saying, it's hard for us to actually comprehend that for the majority of humanity, they did not know where they came from. So the goddamn Egyptians sure as hell didn't know where the hell they came from. And it's ridiculous to think that you humans knew where they was coming from at 4,000 BCE. It's the most ridiculous thing that you could ever say.
And you said something that was real. You have to understand that the universe or the world to them was just what they could see. Like a lot of people on the continent of Africa. A lot. No, I'm not saying all. No, I'm saying like most of them would not be able to envision what you call snow, right? Because it's not something they ever seen in their life. You get my point? So the whole universe to them was just what they could see with their eyes, right? And so it's just unfair to put that kind of thinking on them. Yeah.
Fair, yo. They thought they didn't know where they came from. Everybody thought they came from their own creation story. right? And then the challenge was on, right? And then when Charles Darwin was like, "Oh, they threw him for a loop. Now you got something to measure up against, man." He was like, "Oh no, no!" It took Charles Darwin 30 years to publish his work, yo. See, I didn't know that, did you? He was afraid to come out with it, yo.
Because he knew, he knew. Well, I don't think he knew that even up to day like today, back in this day and age, he's still getting that backlash even today.
Still getting that backlash to this day, yo. Yep, that he knew to put that out. It was a shift in consciousness. That's for damn sure. It shifted from the way people seeing stuff, and now, you know what I'm saying? And that's why I studied Greek philosophy, right? And so the Greeks couldn't quite get there. I mean, my fault. You know what I'm saying? The Egyptians couldn't quite get there, yo, right? And I think I showed you how even in a medical papyri, right? They still had on the next page the gods. They couldn't quite,
but they were groundbreaking
they was
stuff for
getting
that
there.
time.
They was getting, no, I'm saying they was getting there, right?
Yeah.
But they still couldn't completely separate it.
Yeah.
Right? They couldn't, because they was always at the thinking that the oldest was the best. That's where they was at. Like our old ways are the best. That kept them away from doing certain things, right? The Syrians come right through, right? They in the damn Iron Age with iron swords. Or you not beating that with stone swords.
No.
Look it up. Y'all should just look it up, yo.
Yeah. And the Hittites came through with the chariots, and they realized
Hittite, yeah, they was done.
Yeah.
Yep.
This is something we could use.
Yep.
And they took it and retrofitted it, make it better.
They did it. Yeah.
So yeah, I think we're doing them a disservice though, because the stuff that they were doing for their time was groundbreaking stuff, but we are unable to give them the credit they deserve. If people are gonna jump in and say, yeah, they were ahead. I have people telling me that they had technologies that we just lost that was far more advanced than what we have now, but we don't know how to recreate that technology. It's taken away from the brilliance of what they did when we have to make these arguments.
Wow. Yeah, they was a little bit slow, yo.
Somebody in the back. Oh, I saw it. Says he's in the back.
I don't know. I feel like pseudo judo, yo. Yeah, pseudo judo shit get headachy.
Hey, Asar has a PhD.
No,
I didn't know that. No, that's what Corey.
You're not in the back. You're not in the back. Where? You're not in there. You're not in here nowhere. What you talking about?
He must have dropped off.
What?
Well, Corey just said he had a PhD. Corey's playing or what?
Playing. Yeah. So
Corey, are you playing or are you serious?
He's playing, man.
Okay.
Oh man. Yeah, so yeah, I mean, let me see. Iron Age phase. Generally considered to start during the third intermediate period. Okay. 1000. Okay, so the Iron Age in the Eastern Mediterranean is 1200 BCE, and the Iron Age in Egypt is about 1070 to 712 BCE. All right. So you got other African cultures that was in the Iron Age
before Egypt.
Yeah. I think so.
Yeah, that's one of the things that I had to learn is that when they say the Iron Age is not really the same time for all cultures.
Nope.
Yeah.
Yeah. Not at all. Not at all. Let me see. Yeah, it's signs up in here. Playing. Let me see.
And the other thing is that when you say they knew, I'm not just satisfied with you saying they know. You have to tell me how they knew.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Because it was the same argument with the Dogon, right? They knew, but how did they know? Because if you were to follow by what they say, they're saying they got it from some fish, amphibian like creature who came here, gave the knowledge to them. So we're gonna ignore that part, that's where they got it from, but we're gonna say they got it right.
Mm. Mm. All right, so they say Nubia, Nigeria, Central Africa. Nubia is about, they got one of the oldest furnaces, irons. Let me see. Monroe in ancient Nubia, present-day Sudan, dating back around 1000 BCE. Significant kingdom to the south of Egypt. Furnaces, one of the earliest iron smelting furnaces, around 1000 BCE. Terra, Nigeria, in Central Africa. Let's see. Archaeologists have found iron artifacts that date back to around 1500 BCE. Y'all so damn Egyptian centric, yo.
Yeah.
Great
Yeah, I
Lakes,
read that
East
somewhere. I
Africa,
remember.
800 to 500. That's in the Great Lake region, East Africa, particularly around the Great Lake regions. There are evidence of early ironworking sites. Rwanda, Tanzania have yielded carbon dates suggesting iron smelted around 800 to 500 BC. West Africa, present-day Nigeria, Niger. There's evidence of independent smelting from around 500 BCE. The Nook culture in Nigeria, for example, is known for sculptures and iron production. Yep. So a lot of these is before Egypt.
Some of it is.
Yep, some of it is. So I mean, it's about studying and taking our time. Yeah, I mean, and just graduating one step at a time, bro. That's all it's about. Stop being so Egypt-centric, yo. Knock it off. Doesn't make no sense. But yeah, anything else to add, man? I think that's about it, man. I think we put our thing in here, man. We ain't listening to Asar Hotep. Not Hotep.
Yeah. I'm definitely not listening
Oh,
to
we
it.
ain't definitely
Not on this anyway.
Yeah, not today. We're not. Why you drive down the street and play Egyptian, yo? We ain't doing it today, yo. We don't feel like playing. We don't feel like it. No, we don't. We don't. And that's a clear reason why they couldn't beat the Assyrians, yo.
Yeah.
Clear. The Nubians could stand up against the Assyrians, though. Little something.
Yeah.
They end up getting ran out the gym too.
Yeah, but in the end, it was it was it the Nubians who chased out the not the Assyrians,
the Greeks? They chased out the Assyrians first, and then they came back at them. Sennacherib came back, and ended up chasing them back down. You know, they formed. I don't want to get this wrong. Anyway, they chased them back down there, but Nubia kept going. When Egypt was done, you know, Nubia, Monroe, and all that. You know, they was forming. Great civilizations down there for a while, where the Greeks couldn't conquer them, the Romans couldn't conquer them. You know what I'm saying? It took a while to mess with them. Yeah, it took a while to get them there. Yeah,
it's just like the 25th dynasty was all Nubians, right?
They ain't chased out the Persians. They chased out the Assyrians, yo. The Assyrians came back under the king Sennacherib, yo.
Yeah.
Yep. Maybe 5 years later, something like that. Yep, this is certain enough, boy.
Yeah.
They beat the first time. They caught malaria and shit.
Sennacherib was Assyrian, yeah.
Yeah, it was Assyrian. That's the king. Yeah, Sennacherib.
Yeah. I think the Persians were the first one that actually
they beat the Persians beat the Assyrians and chased them out.
Yeah.
And then the Greeks chased the Persians out. And then the
Romans
chased
the Greeks. Well, they didn't exactly.
And then the Muslims chased the whatchamacallits out.
Well, the Muslims actually chased the Christians out.
Yeah, the Muslims chased. No.
Yeah, because by the time the Muslims came, by the time the Muslims came, it were the Coptic Christians that were ruling Egypt.
No, you messing that up.
Yeah, I'm telling you.
Messing up. Man, Islam is in Africa before Christianity, yo. Not unless you go to Ethiopia.
No, we're talking about Egypt. Islam was not.
Yo, I don't think so. You sure, yo?
I'm sure the Coptic Christians were in charge. It was a Roman.
I don't believe that.
It was
Romans,
a,
right. The Romans.
yeah,
They chased out the
but they were
Romans. Okay,
Christians.
yeah. You got me.
Yeah,
I said they chased out the Romans. You're right.
yeah,
Was they Christians at that time?
yeah.
Yeah, because they
But
ransacked Egypt in 675, I believe.
yeah, and
All right.
that time Rome was well established. Was well established as Christian. Yeah.
Yeah. And then the Roman Empire actually gets sacked, right? And they fall into a dark age. Empire splits up, they fall into a dark age.
Yeah, it splits into the Eastern and the Western Empire. The Eastern Empire kept going for a little bit, but the Western fell. Yeah, and then the Ottoman Empire came and finished them all. They fell into, like you said, the Dark Ages.
What did he say? 5,000-year-old. Let me see. You'll say a 5,000-year-old iron bed might not look like much, but it hides the spectacular past. Researchers have found that ancient Egypt trinket is made of meteorite. Yeah, they found one thing about but that's
a
not
meteorite, but that's not iron smelting.
Right, come on, yo. God damn. Try anything, yo.
That's like doing Black Lions Supreme.
It said a trinket. Hold on, did it bring a source with a trinket? Listen, while I'm up here on this panel talking history, you not bring a trinket.
Yeah, no, they have other cultures
Where
that
you get
make.
that from, yo? Can we copy and paste that? 5D on iron bed might not look like much, but it hides a spectacular past. Researchers found that ancient Egyptian trinket. Am I reading that right?
Yeah, it's they made stuff from meteorite. Yeah, I read that before, but that's not iron smelting. We're talking about when we say Iron Age, we're talking about them smelting iron and
hold on for a minute. Hold on. How Smash said, hold on.
Flag on the play.
Flag. Hey man, if you smell an iron and all thing you can come up with is trinkets, you know what a trinket is? Like a piece of necklace. That's a trinket.
Yeah, he said bead, iron bead, 5,000-year-old iron
bead. Are you serious? Is that the best thing you can use it for? Is a bead, yo? Did you throw the beads at people? Put it in a blowgun. Boy, that's funny, yo. Man, that's funny, yo. Man, I didn't say that, man. I said iron smelting, man. Meteorite is not smelting iron. This shit is coming from the heavens, man. Stop it. You got to be, you tripping, yo. You going way too far, yo. You made that up, yo. God damn, yo. Damn.
Yeah, we're talking
They
about
had a meteorite. They found the knife. They found one knife. Meteorite. It might be called meteorite. I think it's called meteorite.
Swords and daggers and that's what we're talking about.
Right. That nigga said meat, boy. Boy, y'all try hard, yo. Trinket made from a meteorite. Boy, that's funny, yo. Yeah, y'all got all stop that, yo.
Yeah, that was pretty. You know that I read something that say, you know, the black stone which they Muslims that they have in the Kaaba.
It's meteorite.
That is a meteorite, yeah.
Yeah. I'm trying to think about. It's in one of Dr. Ben's books. And y'all can look this is a good something in here. Man, we talk about iron. Hold on. We can look this up right away. Hold on. This is, damn it, what's it called? Damn. You're funny as hell with that. That was a good one right there, yo. Got my laugh off today, yo. Make me feel 100% better, yo. I was starting to think the world was sinking till he came up with the trinket. That nigga, we talking about chariots, yo. We talking about swords, yo. But technically, this nigga say trinkets. Grab the trinkets. They coming. Hide the trinkets. Hide the Here you go. Swaziland.
That's in Africa.
Swaziland, Johannesburg, South Africa, February 7th. African archaeologists have reported discovering the world's oldest mine. The mine is an iron ore mountain, all right, in neighboring Swaziland, 43,000 years according to radiocarbon dating. Swaziland. All right, that's in Dr. Ben's book, page 56. Let's see how accurate he is. Let's see where he at. Let's see where he at. Everybody like to call Dr. Ben pseudo. Let's see. Let's see if he close. Not smoking though. Y'all all get it mixed up. Let's see. Hold on. Iron ore. Y'all don't even know the difference. Iron ore. Iron ore. Okay, let's see.
Or is suggesting they mine it, so you have to have a mine if you have iron ore.
Yep. So we can come to, I can't even say it. Gwinya Mine. Gwinya Mine is located on the Bambu Ridge, northwest Bombay, near the northwest border. All right, what I said. Kwame means crocodile in Swazili. Okay, the hell is that? Swazili? Is that what it? No, it couldn't.
No, Swaziland. That's in southern.
Okay, that's Swaziland. All right, okay. Phase 1. Several Stone Age artifacts have been found in the mine during the archaeological works in 1960. This age is established within radiocarbon dating as old as 20,000 years. Later, radiocarbon dating yielded the age of the oldest mining activities, 41,000, 43,000. So, yep, Dr. Ben was right. There you have it. Phase 2, red ochre. Sand rock, okay. Yep. But that ain't, let me see.
So that was an iron mine or a stone mine?
It's an iron. Oh, here you go. Yeah. Nguyen Mines. Description. Nguyen Mines is situated in northwestern border of Swaziland. Here, let me show the source. I'm gonna do y'all better. Let me see. If y'all got Dr. Ben's book, y'all can look at it. So we definitely didn't get this wrong. That's UNESCO. Okay. Gwinya Mines. Gwinya Mines is situated in the northwestern border of Swaziland. Its iron ore deposits constitute one of the oldest geographical formations in the world, and also have distinction of being the site of the world's earliest mining activities. Okay, deposits from Gwinya were worked at least 42,000 years BP before the present for the extraction of red hamite and specurite, sparkling ores. Okay. These people concerned belong to the Middle Stone Age, which flourished in southern Africa for about 100,000 years. Until almost 20,000 years ago, the red ochre was also used in by later peoples, say the ancestors of the present sand bushman people, for their rock paintings. Yeah, I know they used the iron ochre for, right? All right. Okay. Justification for outstanding universal values. This mine, let me see, this mine is known to be one of the oldest mines in the world. In 1964, charcoal nodules from the site were sent to radiocarbon dating and dated to 43,000 BC was obtained, making this one of the world's oldest known mining operations in the world.
So that's like 45,000 years.
That's a long time ago.
Yeah.
criteria. Mining technology dating back to 43,000 represent the period of development of ancient traditional industries in South Africa. Yep. So, yep, Swaziland. All right, so we're going to give Dr. Ben a check on that.
I wonder at 43,000 BC, I wonder what Jesus was doing at that time.
I don't know. Where's Jesus doing, yo? God damn. Looking for a strap on a sandal or something. All right, this the hammer.
Yeah, there's the mine. People are
hematite.
making mine.
Right?
43.
Hematite. That's what that look like.
Hematite, yeah.
Hematite.
Yeah.
Hematite.
Smell it to iron.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
All right. So that's the Wikipedia article on it. All right. And background, phase 1, phase 2, phase 3, phase 4. Interesting right there.
Yeah.
Yep.
So that shows you that the people are doing their thing. So, you know,
they're doing their thing, yo.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And what? Yeah. Yeah, that's some interesting stuff right there.
It doesn't make them less because they weren't
No,
doing
it don't.
telescopes. Yeah.
It don't. Yeah, and I got this from the book that everybody trying to say pseudos right here. Y'all should read it. I'll tell you. I just look up shit to see how much closer it was to it. Yep. Mm-hmm. Yep. The earliest mine, South Africa. Report discovered the world's oldest mine. Yep. He got that right. 43. Yep. Got all that right. Yeah. So yeah, he wasn't wrong for everything, yo. Not even a little bit, yo. There's part. I don't like the religious parts of it, right? Yeah, and shit, I like the evolution parts of it. Those first 2 chapters, man, where I learned about Charles Darwin, right? That I carry y'all to this day. Interesting, right there. So somebody say Hotep Wireless was a parent company.
No, they clowning the Egyptian people, the people who think everything came from Egypt.
What? No, he's still fighting for it. You think they started making high-tech material out of iron before trinkets? I don't know. I'm thinking if you got a stone arrow, right?
You got iron trinkets.
You got some iron. I'm thinking you trying to make the daggone. I'm thinking you trying to do all of it, right?
No, you would. To make sense, you would have iron arrows and stone trinkets. That would make more sense.
I don't think you start with the trinket. I don't know. I have an answer for you. But what I'm saying is, all you found was trinkets, though, is my point. I don't know what you trying to say. They always try to muster up another conversation around the conversation. They only made it to the trinket level then. Okay, you got me. Egypt had trinkets of iron, while the enemies had swords of iron, while they still continue to use stone. They didn't have enough sense to connect the daggone trinket to the daggone sword. All right, there you have it. You got it. Well, you funny. That's funny. Y'all hilarious with that, man. That is funny right there. Man, hit the Cash App going out the door, man. I appreciate everything, man. You know, I always appreciate when you come through Google Scholar, man. It's always a pleasure, man. Your intelligence ranks with the most of them, the top, right? Always said it about you, man. I don't know why you ain't in the Discord, though. Any reason?
No, I was in there, but I was in there before, but from the time they said Fitz deleted the server, I guess by now you have to add me back in.
Well, how the hell do we send you? You got the email?
Yeah, I can put my email in the back.
Yeah, put it in the back, yo. I'm gonna send it to you. Come in there, man. We have good high level intelligence conversations, man. We got a few. You're a Christian, ain't you?
Who?
You?
I think I've outgrown religion now.
What does that mean?
That means I don't believe in any of that stuff.
Oh, okay. You right there. See? See, you're right there. You're comfortable. See, you
No,
good.
a lot of people still think I'm Christian because I'm not the anti-religion type.
Right. Me neither.
I believe if you want to have your religion, you can have your religion. It's not a problem for me.
Yep.
Yeah.
I feel the same way.
Yeah.
A lot of people feel the same way.
Mhm.
Yep. I just want to let you know the server is full of non-believers to capacity. So you should be right at home. I think we got 2 people.
Or believers.
Yep. We got no Christian. Listen to the name. Christian, non-Christian. He don't even know why he a Christian. He don't even know why he go to church. He don't know. And he don't believe none of it, but he's still a Christian.
That sounds like thunder.
Oh yeah, Thunder gone. Now Thunder is the Holy Ghost. Yeah. And then you got Cuban Crisis. He's Santeria.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
Hey, we be laughing. Man,
That's
look,
still Christian though. It's just
can't
Christian.
he talk to you? I can't even talk to you, Cuban. You trying hard, yo. Stop it. But I'm saying, but you're not. Yeah, your religion don't stop you.
Yeah, no.
From being in the server, yo. But we not getting in there. See, what you can't do is get in there and start trying to run the religion. You're gonna get put out. I mean, that's what you can't do.
I mean, if you got claims about your religion, if you can back it up with evidence, then I got no problem with you coming with the evidence.
Yeah, I don't got. Yeah, but there ain't no evidence though. And by the time you get to that server, you already know I ain't got no evidence for it. But I'm just trying. So that don't get you put out. We'll get you put out the service as being a Hebrew Israelite. We'll get you put out. That we ain't going for. Yeah, we don't even need that type of conversation around at this point.
I just hope there's no hours in there. That's
nah. They all get beat up. Something terrible.
I can't stand the hours.
No, we ain't doing that. Get beat up instantly. It don't work because we going straight at it right off the top. Look, he's still fighting. Let me see. What you got? The first evidence of iron smelting in ancient Egypt appears in an archaeological record in the 6th century BCE. That what?
Yeah, that's what it. Man, yeah, no, that's what you said. 6th century BC. That's the 500s.
No, he got the thing wrong. That's 2006. What are you talking about? Okay, yeah. Look. That's 2000. No, right. Yep, you're right. That's 623 BCE. There you go.
Yeah.
He don't even know that, yo. You funny. Let's slow it down for him. 6th century.
No, that's actually
BCE.
7th century BC.
That's
the date that he put 6th century, but that date would be 7th century BC because 623 is 7th century.
Mm-hmm. But look, he's so wild. Black line, get this, yo. Take off the 2,000 years. Zoop. That leaves you with 623
BC.
Okay. Yeah. Okay, we agree to that.
Yeah, but we're saying
you got some Mediterranean cultures at 1200 BCE got iron, yo. I'm trying to tell you, yo.
And there was this one site in Nigeria that they said it's possible about 1500 BC.
Yeah, they got some other places older in Africa, yo. God dang, obviously they didn't need it, or at least they thought they didn't need it. They didn't need it until they did. How about that?
Yeah. And it probably got lost over time because sometimes that happens too.
Yeah, a lot of that happens.
Yeah.
Invent shit and then forget about it. Yeah. Like that cure. Oh man, yo, I'm slipping for real, yo. Man, rickets, not rickets. Oh man, shit. They couldn't sail without it. They would always get it. What's it called?
Scurvy.
Scurvies. Yeah, they forgot that many times over.
Mm-hmm.
Forgot why they was carrying the fruit on the boat with them.
Mm-hmm.
Why do we carry this stinky fruit with us all the time, man? Throw that shit out, man. Just carry some water and some meat, and then they start falling apart. Right on the daggone ocean. You need fruit. Scurvies was crazy. Yep.
Mm-hmm.
That's not my words. They said 600. You fine. Then it's 5 something then. Yeah, remember?
Yeah, 6th century would be 5 something, yeah.
Mm-hmm. 599, nigga. Anyway, yo, is okay. You're right about that. We said that. We read that. I said it was older in Nubia, the oldest furnace. I read it. I said the oldest furnace in Nubia was about Nubia. It was 1,000 BCE, bro.
Yeah.
In Nubia, they had 1,000 BCE in Nubia. Look, Nubia in ancient Sudan, one of the earliest known iron smelting furnaces in Africa, was discovered in Monroe, right? In ancient Nubia, present-day Sudan, dating back to around 1,000 BCE. Nubia was significant in the kingdom south of Egypt, known for its rich cultural and technical developments. The evidence of Monroe suggests that Nubia could be one of the earliest African regions to enter the Iron Age. Determining the first African nation to enter the Iron Age is challenging due to the diverse and independent development of ironworking across the continent. Y'all want to hook all that shit together. That don't make no sense. It said, however, evidence suggests an iron smelting and forging were independently developed, keyword developed, in several regions of Africa, possibly as early as 1,000, 1,200 BCE. Okay? There you go. Boom. There you have it.
Don't let them lose their mind if you said Egypt got it from somewhere else.
Oh my God. Leaves fall off the tree. Die. We're gonna die. You didn't have it there in Egypt first. What are we gonna do? Wallace, what are we gonna do? We're gonna die. Egypt was first. Had to be first. Black Egypt was first. They taught the world, they taught the whole Africa, everything. The ancient African Egyptian religion spread. One thing for sure, the goddamn smelting didn't spread. Smelting spread to them.
Well, by that logic, yeah, because if it's other places first, then it got to them.
What?
Still fighting.
Yeah, man, he's still fighting. Let me see. Okay, this is my source. Iron in Egypt relic came from space. Joe Merchant, Nature, 2023. Yeah, I didn't argue. We didn't argue that. We argued the Trinket, my man. You want me to look that up? Joe Merchant.
Well, he said it was nature, so I'm not going against nature.
I'm not going against the journal of nature, yo. I didn't go against it when he first said it. You feel me?
Yeah, but it was beside the point of what we're talking about, though.
Right. Yeah, that's how the game is always played, yo. It's definitely always played that way, yo. Yeah, it wouldn't be. Let me see. No. See if I can find it for you. Let me see. Is that Joe?
Joe, J-O, Marchant.
Nature, 2013.
So the name of the article would be Iron in Egyptian Relics Came from Space.
Let me see. Make sure you ain't messing it up. Mummies be real, clog arteries, plague ancient Egypt. Damn. Got you, boy. You know I got a subscription, boy. I got subscriptions here, boy. I ain't even gonna log in. Let me log in for y'all.
Well, this is
Here you go. 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 Meteor impact thousands of years ago may have helped to inspire ancient religions. So the fucking shit they use it for religion. So you gonna leave that out, yo? How you gonna do it, yo? Come on, man. I didn't want to look it up, yo. You made me look it up. You posted it too many times, yo. Now we realize they use it for religious purposes, yo. It's really, are you serious, yo? Man. Here you go, ladies and gentlemen. Once again, Oh man, 5,000-year-old iron bead might not look like much, but it hides a spectacular past. Researchers have found that ancient Egyptian trinket is made from a meteorite. Yeah, why not? Use just materials. Yeah. Planetary sign.
Is that explain
It
how
also hints that they regarded these meteorites highly as they began to develop their religion. So was the shit falling from the thing that developed their religion? Really? Boy, I tell you, you should have said that, man.
Yeah, but he said they had this a millennia before um iron smelting, before the earliest evidence of iron smelting in the region. So yeah, this is not iron smelting. This is just them finding a
Cairo.
meteorite, making trinkets with it.
Yeah, about 3,000 BC, making the beads the oldest known iron artifact from Egypt. All for meteorite. Yep. We knew it. We knew you had something in there. Microscopy showed that the nickel content of the original metal was as much as 30%, suggesting that it did indeed come from a meteorite. There you go. That's evidence it came from meteorite. Okay. Backing up the results, the team observed that the metal had a distinctive crystalline structure called Weidmann-Stadian pattern. This structure is found only in iron meteorites that cooled extremely slowly inside of their parent asteroids as the solar system was formed. Gifts from the gods. First evidence of iron smelting in ancient Egypt appeared in the archaeological record. Here you go, in the 6th century BC. Only a handful of iron artifacts have been discovered in the region from before then. All come from high status graves, such as the pharaoh Tutankhamun. Iron was very strongly associated with royalty and power. Yep, not for the goddamn weapons, yo. And Chancellor William tells us this. So y'all playing, yo. Now y'all got me going to Chancellor. See, all the shit y'all say is pseudo. Y'all ain't read enough books to keep pace. You gotta keep pace, yo. Y'all ain't at least listen to the book. Let me see. Let me see if I can ease through here and find an iron. Bet you I can, yo. What you think? Let's see what Chancellor says about the iron. The iron. AB. Let me see. Iron.
What?
Well, here you go. Iron 126. Page, what do you say? 126. What do you say? You still fighting?
No, I just saw another comment. Somebody said they'd like to show you a source that the Bible is not the first book of science, archaeology, social studies.
What?
I don't understand what they're trying to say. The Bible is not a book of science. We know that.
Yeah, we know that. Of course not. Points of civilization. Okay, civilization ranking. Africans battled the tribes, distinction, the Nile. The Africans battled the invading Asians for decades after decades, and centuries after centuries. Damn. Hold on, y'all.
Yeah, but they weren't working with iron. They were using the meteorite that they found to make trinkets. That's not the same as working with iron.
Well, to him it is. Let him have it. Don't kill his dreams. They did have it, Unc. You just killed our ancestors. you just here you go. I mean, I don't mind having fun, y'all. I think it's fun, y'all. Okay, page 132. 132. Destruction of black civilization. Iron was the basis of the technological revolution in warfare. that the Assyrians, the Hittites, and Persians, and other Asiatic nations were equipping their armies with new types of iron weapons, and that these were devastatingly more effective than the stone and copper weapons, had to be well known to the Africans. It was not news, as was mentioned before. They not only knew about the use of iron, but they had long since developed iron smelting processes. They say the trouble was the highly secretive royal monopolies on secrets was more zealously guarded than the smelting of iron. This meant rigidly limiting production. Here was fear out of matching both reason with the most elementary common sense. This over selectiveness, which inhabited the expansion of iron production, was to contribute mightily to the success of the Assyrians' armies over them. Let me see. It's crazy, yo.
No, I'm laughing at something else.
Prosperity too. Hold on. Prosperity too may have bluffed the African vision. Too much success could have dangerous. Too much success can be dangerous. In this case, so much wealth was piled up from foreign trade, especially in gold, ivory, copper, that the question of iron, if raised, may have been dismissed as economically unsound. Whatever the reasons were, the fact is that the great iron industries which had developed in this center spread over Africa could have, could have started centuries before. Even as early as 300 BC, when iron smelting was employed, the more useful poses, than ornaments. The royal monopoly still prevented widespread use. That they knew of the importance of iron is shown by the fact that the kings and high priests were often heads of the guild, and the chief iron master would often gain the status of what the prime ministry is today. Regardless of the delay, iron smelting and tool making got underway on a vast scale in Ethiopia at the most critical periods for Africa. Its center was Monroe, and it appears that the biggest ironworks were in and around the capital city. The development was a crucial period because it was a period of increasing migration from the heartlands and the scattered groups all over Africa. They say they carried their knowledge and their great technology revolution whenever, wherever they went, and they began to use the iron and develop the iron industries where they had an opportunity to settle in iron ore areas and remain settled long enough to create stable societies. Yeah, that damn iron was serious.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and not
Change the game.
Yeah, it killed you dead. Yeah, it killed the Egyptians dead. The great Egyptians died because they didn't want to mess with the iron. They made the beads, and it was the religious thing. Wow. And this is curated material. Y'all see this, yo, Camel Price, curated Egyptian Sudan, Manchester Museum, who's not a member of the study team, emphasizes that nothing is known or certain about the Egyptian religious beliefs before the advent of writing. But he points out that the later on during the time of the pharaohs, the gods were believed to have bones made of iron. He speculates that Meteorite may have inspired the belief, the celestial rocks being interpreted as physical remains of the gods fallen to earth.
Yeah, that makes sense.
John says that he would love to check whether other early Egyptian iron artifacts of meteorite origin if she can get permission to study them. There's your different sources right there. Report and examine the species of the Sumerian Committee of British Association. Hosky J. Early technology. Yeah, you know.
Yeah, well, you see, these are like from probably, well, that would be pre-dynastic times, right? 3300 BC.
That's right at the start of Egypt.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So anyway, interesting man. Is he still fighting for that, yo?
Yeah. He's not letting it go.
Look, you left this out also. The Egyptians made it by hammering the fragments of iron from the meteorite into a thin plate. All right, man. Okay. Yeah, you got me, my nigga. That's what you do, Unc. Leave out information that destroys you. Wow. I like the way, does everybody around just fashion their own argument? The hell about what I was talking about. Doesn't even matter. Nigga, I wasn't talking about trinkets and jewelry and religion. I was talking about weapons.
And we specifically said iron smelting. So even of what he's talking about is
right.
not iron smelting.
Okay, now you want to talk about something different? You can talk about something different. You want to talk about the different shit that fell to the earth? All right. Boy, I tell you, man, I don't know, man. It just has to be me. Has to be me. Find it to be really, really interesting, man. All right, so y'all know what it is, man. Look, we chilling around here, man.
Melanated psyche. I like that name, melanated psyche.
Oh man, they chilling, man. Hey, we upgrading. Need to upgrade that daggone bead to a sword. Might have helped. Yeah. Put down how many beads does it take to make a sword? How many meteorites gotta hit the earth? Big up to the Nubians, yo, who had some of the oldest furnaces in Africa for iron smelting. What's the conversation? Upgrade, man. That's what we doing around here, yo. We keeping it straight. Appreciate you, Google Scholar, for coming through, bro. Hope you come back,
Appreciate it, man. No problem.
All right, man. Peace. Hey, man, go ahead and hit that Cash App, man. Hit that like button, man. We're trying to get the subscribers up, man. We want to reach 5,000 over here, man. Come on, what y'all doing, man? Y'all, man. Make sure y'all subscribe to the Pseudo Killers, man. We got that show Wednesday, man, on with Juju and Space Age African, man. Make sure y'all tune in, man. We doing it big, man. All day, every day, man. Appreciate everybody, man. We having fun, man. Just enjoying the conversation. Appreciate you, Black Lion, man. AP, what's up, Mr. P? Afro Ninja, man. SBC Podcast, man. All day, every day, man. Stars came out tonight, man. Y'all know what it is, man. Lamont Brown. That's crazy. Lamont Brown tripping. He tripping. Hey, I'm gonna leave it up for you, Lamont Brown. Till you upgrade. Shout out to all the beautiful ladies out there, man. Tot. Y'all know what it is, man. Keep it going, keep it fresh, keep it going. Yeah. Hey.
Tell myself the truth, I just need an upgrade. Y'all, pull it down, need an upgrade. Swipe left.